At a board of 20, 30 people, the chairperson should be able to count 10 hands. Yes, no. That's,
Well, and they certainly can, that's not the point.
and we get so damn much shit on there, just like on my home computer. Can't we block that?
He does, and then they find ways around it, and then he blocks it, I know, we get
Like
stuff.
this Erna Furcus or whatever, some of that crap. But
Yeah.
ooh, we all get new pens too. Ooh,
So fancy, aren't they?
wow.
I can't even say we splurged on that, those are the free ones I got from the state, so. They're actually kind of nice. This is it.
You still want me to put X on this one or wait till she brings up that one that I did?
They have all the committee stuff down there, so that you can just toss that thing. Did you bring his committee one up?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take it.
So this was for the, so for the new board chair, she wanted, okay. But this is what she doesn't. Do you want me to go get it? Where is it? What else do you need?
Okay, actually, yes, I'm gonna take your yellow sheet and we'll just transfer the
Oh,
there,
okay.
so
All right.
that'll be the easier way to do it.
We can do
And
that.
so Zach, you're aware that that's chair,
It's-
first vice and second vice?
Right.
Okay,
I
yep,
don't want chair, but I don't
Okay.
mind being vice or
got
second
it,
vice.
okay. So,
And that's voted on by the whole.
correct, yep, so that's
Right.
not on here because it's
Right.
done that way. So let's, I mean, and zoning is elected, you mean planning and zoning? Is that the
Yes,
one? Okay.
yes, I'm on that already.
Public Works is also elected,
Okay. Well,
okay.
it's a alternate, okay.
Yep, Human Services, so there's that one.
I mean, I don't care, but I'm vice chair now and Larry's leaving, so
For
not,
planning and
not that
zoning.
I'm tooting my own, no, for
For,
human services.
oh, Human Services, yep,
And I
okay,
think they would
Oh, current
like
vice
somebody who's
for
on
sure,
Bonifigel never shows up, so
yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't say that out loud,
Okay,
did I?
sounds good. No, I'm good. Thank you. Louis, oh, I'm sorry, Lindsay? Do you want to just check on Rosie? Is she?
Her stuff was in there.
Okay, all right, good.
Highway traffic, no, that ain't it.
Louis is also appointed.
Public work,
Parks is Public Works. Is there a different one you're thinking of, or?
law enforcement and ambulance,
Oh, Public Safety.
yeah.
That's
okay, I'm
Public
sorry.
Safety, and that's an appointed one, okay?
Public safety is,
Public Safety, these are
Right.
all appointed.
okay.
These are,
Public works is highway, no.
that is the highway one, but that's the alternate. You can still select that, like, if you weren't elected to the committee, then they know that you're interested in being
Okay.
an alternate there.
What else?
The
I'm
library.
on that, but not on that, because I was and I couldn't get to the meetings.
When
I'm
a
on the
Fox doesn't work.
Hancock Library Board.
Okay, so that's this one, the local library board.
Okay.
And if you just want to write Hancock next to it. Good morning, Everett.
Good morning.
And then okay, I'll keep this note with it, but I think we've got all the ones on there. And then the elected ones, when we do them this time, we're gonna try to, like, when we do the nominations, we'll see, if anybody has something to say, like, yes, I really want to be on this committee, or no, I really
Sure.
don't, type of thing. Or I've been on this committee for 6 years already, or whatever.
Well, I've been, not that I'm whatever, but I've been on zoning and
And that'll be your
I was
opportunity
on-
to,
as a citizen, before I was on the last couple terms and now I'm
yeah.
chairman of it, so I'd like to continue.
And so that will give everyone that opportunity to, if they want, to share that so that your fellow board members know that,
Okay,
you've been on this committee for a while and you'd like to continue, or you're the chair or whatnot, that type of thing. Because it's all up to the 11 on who's on those elected ones. So,
sure.
okay.
All
So
right,
I'll take this for the others.
all right. Thank you.
I've got what I need here. So
What are you doing there? You belong up there.
Hello, my name
now
is.
we moved him.
Oh, you got-
We moved him.
Is that a promotion or demotion, Everett?
Probably a promo,
Not
but
quite
then
sure,
you
right?
could see me.
I could. I knew you were always up there.
Yeah, with that. Talking about those people. You aren't gonna squeal on me if I'm sleeping up.
I never paid that close attention. I knew you were there.
That's right.
Kind of like in church, if you don't snore too loud, nobody notices.
What are your passwords for these? Is it Waushara1?
Yep,
All lowercase.
I don't know.
Right.
I think so, yeah. Well, Cheryl one and then
Yep.
I press enter.
Yep, there it goes.
Then it
Okay.
works sometimes and sometimes I cuss at it and
Sometimes you
I
throw it against the
I
wall.
just close the cover and say, if it's important, they'll get a hold of me, and if they're not, well, missed one. Another one didn't get his email, he's filling out his form. See, I'm not the only one that's,
I missed 4 of them. Well, Brandon missed his, and I know he knows how to check his email, so I don't know if it's a matter.
Brandon, I'm sorry. And I'm gonna, if not at this meeting, gonna make a resolution, one of these meetings, that put your damn cell phones away and don't be doing them when the meeting's
So
going on.
that is one of the amendments to the bylaws.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's an amendment,
Yeah.
and if it, of course, I won't have that, I don't know if I'll have that much to say, depending on what boards I get on.
Right. Well, it should be a county board thing. You put them in your pocket or turn them off. You don't sit there. I've seen them numerous times.
Well, what I'm going to say is that if it continues, what we will do is require that they be all put in a box when we come in.
Yeah.
Or leave them home.
Yep, exactly. If you can't go that hour and a half without your
Yeah.
finding out current events or texting your girlfriend or wife or whatever. And if your job is that reliant on it, you probably don't belong on the county board. I'm sorry. I'm very
agree.
opinionated on stuff like that, Everett.
We discussed it at exec because they put it in for the bylaw amendments that we're not gonna vote on them today, but
Right.
look at them, and that was one of the things that the executive committee
Yeah.
wanted to discuss, like, well, what do we do if it continues? And it's up to the board to address that with your fellow board members, so.
Well, I think you can, if I remember right, my rules, and you can censure them.
Yep.
Censor.
That's
That's a final
another thing-
recourse, but,
That's another thing that's on the new bylaws that we will be able.
and
to-
he had made the statement, I wish somebody would run against me. Well, if you don't want to do it, all you do is fill out that paper and you don't have
If you
to,
don't want to run, and then you'll have.
don't be making statements like that. And he's not made hardly any of the human services meetings.
Do you want me to?
He hasn't even
Any
been
of the
kind
health
enough to
meetings.
call Donna to fill in.
I'll have a packet.
I don't know how he is on the other,
The health board meetings.
pardon,
Doesn't meet any of
And
the
then
health
one-
board.
one-
really.
meetings.
Then why are you on the committee? I mean, after the first couple of meetings, you should have known, hey, this is for me, or no, I'm not interested. Take me off, put somebody on that will at least show up for the meetings.
Doesn't show up for any of them. Didn't show up for any of the VSO meetings.
Really?
No.
So that's 3 committees he's been. Oh, I'm sorry, he's a loose cannon.
What committees do you want to be on?
Well, I'd like to stay on zoning because I'm chair of that.
Great.
Uh,
That's elected, so that's why I'm asking.
Right, and I'm on public safety, law enforcement, ambulances. Been on that for,
Well, the only elected one that though is,
So if,
It's, the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's,
Yeah, so I can't help you in any of
when
that.
I wouldn't mind, Mark said, I talked to him, he does not want to be on executive anymore. I would like to get on that. He said, I says, well, you're seeing Donna got beat, you want to be chairman? Nope, don't want nothing to do with it. He says, I don't even really want to be on executive anymore.
I'd like to see John on as chairman.
Bingo, my same thoughts ever.
He's got the time.
He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's very open-minded.
Dedicated.
You make the motion and I'll second it if it has to be, because, I think he'd be a very good. And if he has the flexibility to attend, I know Donna was gone 3, 4, 5 days a week sometimes on some of these meetings.
She did some that probably wouldn't have had to,
Well-
but she didn't have anything else to do, and she really gave her life to county board.
Well, she
That's
was,
why,
did we butt heads? Yeah, I butted heads with you, but we're still all in all good friends, I believe.
At some point, yes, you wanna go now, go now, so.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, let's go by Jacob's Day.
should the campaign just a tiny bit.
but I got beat by Peterman 4 years ago.
Yeah.
By 3 or 4 votes.
Yep.
I always believed people know how I feel, how I voted. That's me. I'm not gonna go knock on doors, say, hey, I'm this, I'm that. No, that's not me. I've never did it for my township. I've had that for 24 years. They know what I am. My name's in the paper, how I vote, how things are. If not, call me. My phone is always available. I'll even give you my cell phone if you need it.
So, question for you
That's,
too, are you telling them that
Come on up, have a chair.
the new people get
Hot
chargers,
seat.
but all the other chargers should stay here?
Too late. You're done.
So that
3
everybody
years.
knows that the chargers like stay here, except for
I
the 3
know
new
your
ones?
name.
I mean, when you go through the training.
Yeah. Yes.
Morning and welcome.
Guys today.
We're here.
Morning,
Morning, how you doing?
Barry West.
Good meeting you, Barry.
Nice to meet you. I'm the IT director. I'm at your spot. So I'm working on your computer for a second.
Morning.
Morning, Everett, how you been?
Good.
They tell you for lunch, the new members have to buy lunch for us.
I heard that.
Did you?
I
Okay.
did. I left my money at home.
Oh, sounds like Kirschner. He would say that. Right, Everett?
Yep.
Getting,
I got enough juice in here.
there should be.
There's a plug-in. There's a plug-in up there, Everett. You can,
There's a cord.
oh, you want mine? I charge mine all the way up, so it should,
Okay.
Yeah,
I
there
had it
should be
on all-
extras laying around.
all night, so it should be good to go, I hope.
For a few minutes this morning, but that's all.
You're good.
Yellow paper there. Turn something like that in.
I did already, yeah, last week I did. Sure. Boy, you're all dialed up. I ain't seen you like that for a long time.
You have it.
I come like I am.
I figured Mary's.
I don't even own a suit.
I figured Mary's gonna be taking pictures. I wanted to look,
I took my tablet in, they took my picture there like I was a wanted man, most wanted. I don't know what that's all about. Said, you need to stand here and get your picture taken. Okay. Said, what, for a new dartboard that's coming out for the county or what?
You can take these mics and stuff.
Could be.
For something, you didn't have to do that?
Actually, if you don't, they don't.
You haven't
pick
had
it
to
up
do
on the
that?
screen.
No.
Stand behind a green billboard
Yeah,
and
it's.
get
'cause
your
it's
picture
made-
taken?
it's noise
Seriously, they did
canceling,
this
so you
morning.
Have to talk into the mic. Otherwise, the screen doesn't pick it up. Yeah, wow.
Government issue.
Did they say what Sheriff County on?
No,
Oh,
they're from the state or the feds.
Where'd you get that blue one? What is that?
That's been in here. It's 2010. I thought it was a current one. What the hell?
Where is so long?
I want to see if Jerry had a new one. Hell no.
Never been the same back here since Jerry's been gone.
Yeah, he was a stitch. He was a stitch.
Should we take a knee?
I remember that, yeah. Then that other
The
statement,
other, oh,
that other statement he made.
that was a bad deal. I went to,
Wow.
that was when Behringer was here, and I went to told Behringer, I said, you better listen to that tape.
Well, I don't, no.
It's got some error on it, on this one, Barry.
No, I can remember what he said then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, or is that taking heat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll show you. We're gonna have a little class.
Okay.
on it.
Okay. thank you.
Get some extra.
Well, I got ballots, but they give me a pack in here, yeah. Somewhere.
Use it down in the drawers.
Those are collector's items.
So I get to vote several times.
Yeah, vote early and vote often, Everett.
Some white ones. Those are the nomination papers.
Everett and I were talking, he's got the same thoughts we had for, what we talked about, Mark. Uh-huh. And then just for your information, I wouldn't mind getting on executive. The rest is kind of fair game.
Now, you know that meets during the day.
That's fine. I'm
Okay.
kind of sort of semi-retired. I can kind of come and
I didn't
go.
know. I don't know.
I'm working harder now than I did when I was working full time. Wife says, why don't you slow down? I says, why? If I break a hip or a knee or gotta have replacement, then I'm done. Then I've made up my mind, I'm gonna call it quits and sit home and watch the birds eat the bird seed I put out. Until then, I feel good. I've got opportunity. And I haven't won the lottery, so I can always use the extra money,
I'm trying to get the wife to slow down, but
not in her jeans.
no, no, no. Just,
You know, if there was some way your wife, me, and whoever's still working at our age could pass that on to this younger generation,
oh, to even start working.
it'd be wonderful, but,
No, they have no sense of,
you know, I'm working at Johann's there. Started out part-time. If he'd have his way, I'd be there 7 days a week. He's had at least 8, if not 10 people have come there. I don't like the hours. I don't like the people. And they don't show up again.
No, until after judge. That's what. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so everything else on the right, you can fill that stuff out, just hang on to the oath, and when judges here, yep, all that stuff you can fill out, and
I got the yellow one filled out. But
Did
this,
you give me the yellow one already?
no,
Oh, we gotta give them our home telephone number. Darn.
What do you want, Lisa?
Well, they're not calling my cell phone.
Yep.
Call the house, my secretary can answer.
supposed to turn that in a long time ago. On this survey, Meg, do you want to have,
No, that, the WCA survey,
yeah,
that's an anonymous.
okay, and four.
Supposed to do that today too? Okay. Making early and,
Here, take this. Oh, okay. That's the one you signed?
yeah, for a telephone. Told Don at the last meeting, I said, I thought about it 100 times, never did. They should have a picture taken of the. And what would be wrong with inviting them for one of our meetings, if they could make it, and take a picture of the last outgoing board? We'd have to do it soon, but, and then one of the new board, and you'd have it both done, you wouldn't have to worry about it for 2 years. Well, I didn't think it was a bad idea. Donna says, oh, whatever. She was kind of. What is your age? Old enough to know better. They don't have that blank on there. There was a shirt I put in her order that says, I don't know how to, I don't,
Is this
for WCA.
This
Hey, Megan,
isn't
he
there.
has to, sign, we have to sign there in the Dutch.
You do, but he's gonna, when he comes in, he'll
He'll
swear
want-
you in this. book.
And then he wants to sign it.
And then you'll sign it, yep, after
And
the
then give
administration
people.
oath, you'll sign it, and then we'll take them back.
Can we swear at him too?
Pardon?
Can we swear at him too?
You do
Oh,
what you want, if you think that's appropriate.
well, probably not.
Stay away from that one.
No, it was a shirt that says, I don't know how to act my age. I've never been this old before. What, 5 years? What are you, 70?
70,
Yeah, 4 years, so.
About 10 years.
You're 80 already?
79.
Holy crap, I honestly didn't think you were that old.
Just
Keeps on going, don't it?
keeps happening every year.
Yeah. It's funny, when you're a kid, you can't wait for your next birthday. When you get older, you wish they'd be every
I have
other year.
No idea where they all went.
How's everything over on the east end of the county? What? It's two of us.
It's good, good.
I think you're gonna do fine.
We had our board meeting last night, our town board meeting. It went really well.
Town board meeting, that we had a week Tuesday. 20 minutes, we were done.
Well, ours wasn't that good.
Yeah, and then we had our annual meeting and that was 15.
We got that tonight.
Our annual meeting is tonight.
15.
Now, do they want to know my most current on county board or total 10-year lifetime?
Tell by the walk who was coming.
It's me.
Tell by the click, click, click.
That's right.
Never change shoes or I'll be.
Sometimes I have like black on.
You done with your yellow one, Mark, or the orange one? It's gotta be returned to Megan too, or did you? Oh,
I thought she told me to put it back in the folder, so I don't.
because we get to keep these other side and this is return, well, whatever. That other one we handed, we could have left too, I guess, but.
Red Granite's here.
Ah,
It's any of their business what our total income was.
There isn't a line there for not enough.
Considering your positions on public policy, what the heck does that mean?
Well, are you a liberal or conservative? The rest of them are just boxes they felt like putting on there.
Listen, anything about buildings and grounds?
Kurt message and said they might have numbers, but then I didn't hear if they actually were having a meeting. Are we?
No, I haven't heard. Yeah, yeah. I think it's fine. I think there's no sense in having a meeting and not being able to talk about it. You need all the numbers. Good.
John,
I agree.
Okay, what do we do with this?
back in when you're, there's no names, so they don't know what to put down. Well, it's Mark left his in the folder. I handed mine back, or I thought handed back in, but just says return to the county clerk on that side of your folder. It was on the right-hand side of your folder, Robert, originally.
Just let me lose that one.
Thanks, a homework here.
Maybe it was in here. If I could read it would help.
Want my glasses? Oh, you got some, that's right.
Pay attention. We never used to have all this stuff.
We never used to have these damn things either.
No, we didn't.
Well, I gotta go back in my memory, but if memory serves me right. There was a guy over to my left that.
I held out as long as I could.
Brandon, do you have to take a day off?
I did, but it was under
my own meeting.
pressure from my
my
constituents.
Not telling you where I am.
Yeah. When did they start touring the courthouse after? It says we get to tour the courthouse
Where?
in your agenda.
Oh, that's what the.
Oh, that ain't for us old
Oh,
folks?
I'm not.
It can't be part of our.
Right here. Morning.
Morning.
John Jarvis.
Steve Buss.
Nice to meet you. You're right beside me here. Think like I left it. I gotta take something to drink. It's gonna be a long week.
Used to always have this at 10 o'clock and then break for lunch and then come back.
I like to watch out.
Thank you.
I'm still gonna use you as example.
Okay.
Just gonna log in as you on here.
Okay, good deal.
I didn't think you care.
Pressure.
You press your open meeting ones then, Mark? Once you open this, press your open meeting again.
Barry, it looks like we're not gonna need these for any of the first stuff.
Not for the first stuff. We're gonna do some training on it in a little while.
Good.
So
Okay.
if you wanna just have it
Ready?
available.
All right. It's there. Charged up.
All right, I pressed it and it's not doing nothing as usual. Oh, there we go. Open meeting technologies.
What's that?
We're not gonna
Please
use the
select
profiles.
sign in to
We're
begin.
just gonna do some training on it.
Sure. Okay.
There we go.
Oh. No one's on.
Dave Waushara.
Good day. Nice to meet you. My name is Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Hello, Bob.
I guess we'll just give you
Another promotion.
a sign seat. Yeah.
Yeah, we got all kinds of paper.
I can keep an eye on you guys, keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, I'll go log in once.
So this.
It was hilarious. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Rich.
So if you haven't already, the papers on the right side of your folder are for you to fill out and turn in to me today. The stuff on the left is for you to keep, but if you can fill out the right stuff while we're waiting, I'll take that back. The oath you can hang on to, the judge is gonna administer the oath. But otherwise, the stuff that's on the right side of your packet, you can fill that out, that you can hang on to. This is all set to go? Okay.
Right side.
I wish somebody would clean out the drawer when they put their cough drop wrappers in mine. Full. There was a note, thanks for the cough drop.
Hold this, right?
Yeah. She got good turnaround.
What's the green ones?
They got their fines.
I started.
It's in their folder.
Oh.
Huh?
No.
Just close your eyes and put X's on
I think Can we sign this?
Get yours.
No, well, yeah, that one, but not the, oath of office. You gotta wait till a guy swears at, or swears.
Morning.
I'm gonna see you.
Sure.
Morning.
Morning.
Welcome.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now,
Thanks.
you're gonna sit over here.
I'll do my best.
One is yours.
Oh, Jerry never did.
No,
Yeah.
No,
it was all right.
and the other Jerry too, Lauer.
Yeah. The other Jerry was more.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mr. Jarvis.
There we go.
Thank you.
Bet.
Nice to meet you, Jesse.
Here's all set.
Yep.
Thank you.
Because I haven't done this yet.
Okay.
Is this yours or mine? Some more paperwork here then.
I think that's yours.
Okay.
So in this folder here,
How come mine went to this thing?
this we'll need for today. This is all just your stuff to take with you.
Pretty fancy.
If you can fill out,
Charge.
these three.
Yeah, it's
forms, and
charged.
then I'll take those back.
Okay.
This is the oath that judge will come up and administer once we're called to order. So hang on to that for now. We'll
That's good for it.
Okay.
Okay.
I broke it.
Let's see. I want that, please.
Before I got started.
Yep. And so hang on to that.
Do we have
for
to call
now.
security on you?
Okay.
Do we have to call security
Yeah.
on you?
It's, things are popping, and I just went more. I was charged overnight. I hate it, and I think it knows that it hates me.
You have to be nice
Oh,
to
okay.
talk to it. It's like plants, like you have to talk sweet to them, they will grow.
I've been trying to do that to my wife for 44 years.
Well, you're still married, you must be doing something right.
This for the money.
She just
Keep
can't.
her all.
I owe half to my campaign manager.
I gotta
and
remember
joked
that.
with her.
Oh.
Ready to go?
Morning.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Jesse. Nice to meet you.
That's fine, but they'll have to all be.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take your cord, and plug it here, so it just puts it up there.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna go through how well-
Oh,
if they're already on.
Yeah. Donna was on 12, 14 years.
I just, will be able
Come
to.
on, after you.
Yep, yeah. She took over
Oh, yeah.
after Norm.
Somebody's,
10 years for sure.
Debbie always used to
Well,
say,
not like
if you want where it's at to launch it, you just want me.
And I put down, I was on 14 years, then I got off by Bill Crawford beat me.
you got-
Then I was on again for
I
6
didn't launch
years.
that.
And then George beat me. Now I've been on 2, so that's 22 years, right?
I'm hoping.
Total. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't,
I would-
Yeah, and it seems like everybody. It's
I
connected.
remember if they didn't have a box big enough, he's been on.
As long as you're just functional,
Lifetime.
Yeah, a lifer.
then you should be good.
Morning.
Pat King.
Hi, Jesse Urban. Nice to meet
Your
you.
last name?
Urban
First name?
Jesse.
Jesse. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you,
Robert Whittle.
Jesse. Good to meet you.
Hi. Pat King. Mark. Mark, okay. Nice to meet you.
I've heard that from a couple of people.
Will we go to that?
Huh?
Go to that.
Oh, you just press that.
I know I got it.
I just pressed this one on, what the hell is it? You got that on here. Mine's got a little icon there that you press it for that. Things. Throw them all away. I'm gonna make a motion to get rid of them.
So it's it's
This one, press that.
if you look at the screen, I'd like to say.
Okay, there you go. Now it should say sign in. Okay, press that. You should be ready to go. There you go.
Jesse's the last.
Bingo.
That's fine.
Did she grab these from you guys already?
Yeah, just take them up.
Set. Thank you. Pat, are you all done with yours?
Done with this.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
My wife and I run a retreat facility for Christian clergies and ministry leaders for, it's at the old Hammerstrom place in Plainfield. So
That's what it's.
we do that full time. So we were talking about how much margin I had for doing this and we prayed about it. It's like, I think I can do this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Anybody can make that motion, I believe,
Yep.
right?
Yep, I will do that if
Wow.
need to be.
I will greatly appreciate that.
I'm sure they don't, so.
Yeah.
They're.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the once every 2 years I get to do this. So I'm going to call the meeting to order. And then I'll just start with roll call right away. So Mr. Bonfiglio.
Here.
Mr. Piaski. Mr. Peterson.
Here.
Mr. Cap. Mr. Eckstein.
Here.
Mr. Jarvis.
Here.
Mr. Bosshard.
Here.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Waddle.
Here.
Mr. Urban.
Here.
Mr. Kirschner.
Yep.
Okay. So then we will move on to the oath of office that'll be administered by Circuit Court Judge Guy Dutcher.
John Jarvis.
Elected.
Having been elected to
The
the office of County Board Supervisor,
Swear or affirm.
swear or affirm
That I will support the Constitution of the States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin.
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
And will faithfully and impartially.
and will faithfully and impartially
Discharge the duties of said office.
discharge the duties of said office
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you all. Congratulations. Please be seated. You have signed now, that's been signed in the clerk's office.
Yep, so that was me. Side. If you can fill that out and pass them down, I'll collect those. And then we'll get Judge to sign those later. Thank you.
Want to thank all of you for your service at a time that is historic for our county. You've forward with an awful lot of critical decisions that are going to be confronted by this body. And I wish all of you the best. Discharge our county forward at what is one of the most important times in our county's history. Thank all of you very much for your service.
Best no.
So later on in the agenda, we do have department head introductions. We are going to start very briefly with our clerk of circuit court because she does need to scoot out to get to court as well. So we'll do her introduction and then we'll move on in the agenda.
Good morning. I'm Rena Rasmussen. I'm the clerk of court here in Waushara County. I was just appointed about a month ago after Melissa Zamzo resigned. I've been with the clerk's office for about 14 years. I've been with the county for 18. I started in the jail and then moved over from there. Our office is the record keeper for the courts. So I'm kind of maneuvering my way through this new role here. And I look forward to working with all of you. Thanks for
Okay, so now we will stand for silent prayer and pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so now comes the fun stuff. So we are going to move on with the election of the county board chair. So at your desk, you all have a packet that has a salmon colored top. If you can pull that out, there's a little pack of ballots that's paper clipped to that as well. So we will start with the nominations for chairperson. So if you flip open to that first white sheet, it's got a little blue bar across the top that says chair. So if you can pull that one out, what you'll do on there is you'll put an X next to any of the 11 supervisors that you would like to nominate to be the county board chairperson. So put the X next to who you would like to nominate. You can nominate as many as you would like, and then put your initials and pass those down. Okay, so I'm going to go through these and I will put the people that are nominated up here so that you'll know who you're voting on. So we have nominations for, let's see, Brandon Bonfiglio, Mike Cap, and Mark Kirschner. Then we have a nomination for John Jarvis. Another one for John Jarvis and Mark Kirschner. Again, for John Jarvis and Mark Kirschner. We have nominations for Brandon Bonfiglio and John Jarvis. John Jarvis. John Jarvis. John Jarvis. Mark Piaski. John Jarvis and Mark Kirschner. And Mark Piaski and John Jarvis. So before we move forward with the voting, which would be by secret ballot, we'll go through anybody that is nominated for chair, if you would like to say anything as to why you would or would not like to be chair. Mr. Bonfiglio? You have anything?
I have the time to do it, so I appreciate people's nominations, but I know it's chair.
Mr. Piaski?
Or no, and willing to step up to do it.
Okay. Mr. Cap is not here. So Mr. Jarvis?
I as well would be interested in doing it. And I feel too, like Judge Dutcher said, there's a lot of things ahead of us here coming out of this post-COVID world, hopefully. And I'm willing to do it. I've had about 3.5 years of experience so on the county board.
And Mr. Kirschner?
I would like to withdraw because I'm done.
Same thing.
Would you like to withdraw your nomination? Okay, so for voting for county board chair, we have Mark Piaski, Mike Cap, or John Jarvis. So you have a blue ballot in front of you. You can write down only one name that you're voting for county board chair. You do not need to initial or put your name on it. This is by secret ballot, so one vote for county board chair. Okay, so we have John Jarvis, 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 and John Jarvis. So, show agree content. So, congratulations.
All right.
Can you imagine having 36 board members? Yeah.
And what one is he?
Well, good morning and thank you. I appreciate your support and I look forward to being the chair of the supervisors of this great county. So with that, then we can move on to the nominations for first vice. Megan, you want to run there?
Do it the same way as we did for chair. So there's the green sheet. So go ahead and nominate however many you would like for first vice chair. Put your initials next to it, and then we'll collect those.
So how do I do it? Where's the link for that? On the county website?
Okay, so nominations for first vice chair. We have Patrick King and Mark Kirschner, Robert Wadell and Mark Kirschner, Brandon Bonfiglio, Everett Eckstein, and Mark Kirschner, Brandon Bonfiglio and Robert Wadell, Everett Eckstein, Mark Piaski, Mark Kirschner, Everett Eckstein, Mark Kirschner. So those are all of our nominations for first vice chair. We'll do the same thing. I'll start at the bottom if anybody has anything they'd like to say before we do the actual vote. Mark Kirschner.
Chair for 10 years. Stay on as vice chair.
Okay. Mr. Wadell.
County board, a couple years this last term, previously a couple years. Like to go up the ladder, I guess, and if you so choose, I would be glad to serve on the executive committee.
Okay. Mr. King.
I'll withdraw.
Mr. Eckstein.
Been on the county board for 30+ years, and last several years I've been on the executive. I'd like to stay on.
Okay. Mr. Piaski.
Could be a challenge
And Mr. Bonfiglio.
I think it's a great opportunity to serve the county in a better or a greater capacity. Appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, so we are going to vote again by secret ballot with your green ballot that you have in front of you. So you're voting for one for a first vice chair. Your choices are Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Piaski, Mr. Eckstein, Mr. Wadell, or Mr. Kirschner.
Sure they distinguish between the two are you. Names or not.
Have to be initial.
These do not have to be initial. Okay, so we have Mark Kirschner, Brandon Bonfiglio, Mark Kirschner, Everett Eckstein, Mark Kirschner, Brandon Bonfiglio, and Mark Kirschner. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Kirschner. So Kirschner has been elected as the first vice chair.
Congratulations, Mark. And then we'd move into the nominations for the second vice chair.
So same thing here. So initials next to your nominations, and you can nominate as many as you would like for second vice chair. Okay, we have nominations for Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Wadel, Mr. Eckstein, Mr. Wadel, Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Eckstein, Mr. Wadel, Mr. Piaski, Mr. Wadel, Mr. Piaski, Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Wadel, Mr. Eckstein, Mr. Piaski, and Mr. Piaski. So nominations we have for second vice chair are Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Piaski, Mr. Eckstein, and Mr. Wadel. Is there anyone that had anything additional that they would like to add for the group before we vote? Okay, so this is going to be on your gray ballot. No initials needed on this. Okay, votes for second vice chair. We have Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Piaski, Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Piaski, Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Eckstein, Mr. Wadel, Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Eckstein, and Mr. Piaski. So I've got one for Mr. Wadel, two for Mr. Eckstein, three for Mr. Piaski, and four for Mr. Bonfiglio. So Mr. Bonfiglio has been elected as second vice chair.
Congratulations. We'll move on then in our agenda for this morning. So the next order of business is the approval of the agenda. And could I just ask, not to stir things up too much, but we have, I see Jan Novak's family here in celebration of her retirement today. And that doesn't come until almost the end. And just to spare them from all of our our duties here this morning, could I ask that 16C2, could I ask that, or Roman numeral 2, could I ask that be placed next on the agenda right after the approval of the agenda? Okay, nomination by Mr. Bonfiglio. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, by Mr. Piaski. So we're approving the agenda with the exception of moving that 16C2 to the next item. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, seeing none, that passes, and we'll move on. So then let's move right to that important resolution here. So we'll move to 16C2, resolution number 17-04-22, acknowledgement of Jan Novak's retirement from the service to Waushara County.
Good morning. Jan, do you want to join? Good morning. I'm Clara Voigtlander, the Director of Human Services. And Jan Novak, one of our long-term employees who is retiring effective this Wednesday. So a resolution acknowledging Jan Novak's retirement from Waushara County. Whereas Jan Novak was hired by Waushara County on November 23rd, 1983 in the Department of Human Services as the Chief Juvenile Court Intake Worker. In this social work position, Jan rotated on-call services and worked in youth justice, child protective services, and adult services. In 1986, Jan transitioned to a part-time consultant position serving as a parent educator and youth services specialist. Following a ruling by the Wisconsin Employment Relations Council, the youth services specialist position and employees of the Guidance Center were established as formal Waushara County employees, which reflects Jan's official start date of January 1st, 1989, 33 years here. At this time, Jan began her position of prevention specialist coordinator that she continues to hold today. Whereas Jan Novak has served proudly on several committees representing Waushara County over her many years. Jan is a founding member and past chair of Waushara Prevention Council, founder and chair of Waushara's Vision, Backpack Nutrition Programs, Transportation and Resource Awareness Work Groups, coordinator and founder of Blue Ribbon Kids Day, founding member and current chair of Waushara County Child and Family Partners, founding and current facilitator for Healthy Families Waushara Prenatal and Early Childhood Partners meetings, and a current member of the Waushara County Transportation Coordinating Subcommittee of the County Board and the Theta Care Community Health Action Team. And whereas Jan Novak has been an outstanding advocate for our most vulnerable and assisting in the implementation and coordination of Waushara County's mobile food pantries and the Human Services Diaper Pantry, and assisting with grant funding and plan development of community resources such as the A+ After School Program and the CAP Family Resource Center, Child Caring Incorporated, and the Shines Recovery Network. And whereas Jan Novak has been a leader in Waushara County, committed to service and providing an open and safe environment for all coworkers, clients, and the community, serving clients with dignity and respect, without judgment, and always seeing the best in people. And whereas Jan Novak has worked collaboratively with colleagues in the department across government and community partners to create an array of services for the community. And whereas Jan Novak has worked hard to hold to the values of respect, integrity, collaboration, service, innovation, and stewardship, earning respect from coworkers and clients alike. And whereas Jan Novak's tireless dedication to the citizens of Waushara County and devotion to helping develop and sustain resources that respond to our community's needs via supporting or expanding services available at the department. Jan's skill and passion for processing and analyzing data, researching options, designing and evaluating programs has positively impacted the citizens of Waushara County. Now, therefore, the Waushara County Board of Supervisors does thank Jan for her dedicated service, her commitment, and her sacrifice to our community, and wishes Jan good health and happiness as she enjoys her family and her upcoming retirement.
So could I ask for a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion by King, second by Wadle. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Jan, just reading through that, that's a career that most people would do in a lifetime or in 3 lifetimes, and you've done it in 1. It's very impressive. You know, you're leaving quite a void here in Waushara County, but so that's hard for us, but we really, really appreciate all you've done and wish you only the best in your retirement. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on then to the approval of the minutes of March 15th, 2022 monthly meeting. Motion to approve. Motion by Bonfiglio, second by Bossard. Sorry, I'll get you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, passes. Public comments. I didn't see that we have any public comments. So we'll move right into our department head introductions. We've done the clerk of courts, so county clerk.
I guess I'm next. I'm Megan Kapp. I'm the county clerk. I think I've met all of you, at least through the election process. My office is on the first floor of the courthouse. My department is responsible for county board materials and getting agendas and things together. We don't do agendas for every single committee, but they are all posted in our office. So if you're ever in need of an agenda or materials for a committee or board meeting, you can contact me and we can at least get you in touch with the right person if we are not the one that takes care of that particular committee. Aside from that, we also administer elections. We do dog licenses, marriage licenses, and a few other things. So that's my office.
Thank you, Megan. Corp Counsel.
Good morning. My name is Ruth Zowski. I'm the Corporation Counsel for Waushara County. I've been in this position for about 24 years. My office handles all of the civil cases for the county. So anything from ordinance violations such as zoning and health codes to mental health commitments, guardianships. I work very closely with the Department of Human Services and a lot of their functions, giving advice to county board supervisors, department heads, facilitating negotiations for our 2 union contracts. And I don't know what else, but I'm here on the second floor, usually chained to my desk if I'm not in a meeting or in court. I already am going to apologize to you because I do have a court hearing at 10:30. So if you see me get up and leave, it's not because I'm not interested, but I need to be in another spot. And I'm here on the second floor, and please stop by anytime.
Sometime when we have time, we'll have Ruth give us a list of jobs that she hasn't filled in to do in the county. That would be shorter. So, all right, public health.
Good morning. I'm Patty Bofile, Director of the Health Department. Been there about 19 years. Public health is all about prevention, and we try as much as possible to be community focused. So the last 2 years, unfortunately, it's been a lot about COVID. So we are certainly known for giving vaccines. We do a lot of communicable disease follow-up. We have school nurses. We have a variety of programs when we look at what the issues are in the community and then do our best to figure out how we can deal with those. We have some community things such as Safety Day and skin cancer screening and other things. So when I do the annual report in a couple of months, I'll give you a lot more detail. But if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm over in the North Annex. We are on the first floor. So thank you.
Thank you, Patty. County Administrator.
Hi, my name is Melissa Pingle. I'm the administrator and I've been here about 6 months. So I'm really far behind Ruth in experience here, but it's been a good 6 months. I'm the one that gets to deliver good news and bad news. One good news I want to mention is about our child support agency. So in 2021, and Kim will be talking a little bit, the Child Support Agency got an award for a Certificate of Outstanding Achievement Award. So I just wanted you all to know news, and it's the management on site that reports to the county board. So I'm responsible for the budgeting and the human resources department, any of your per diems, things like that, and responsible to start doing like strategic planning and anything that we are working on, like some of the few projects that I'm responsible for with some of the other department heads, like ARPA money, how we're spending that. The building project has been taking up probably 50% of the time, maybe 40, depending on the day, and working with the managers that are working on a task force on retention and recruitment of staff. And that's been a good group of people working towards getting people to come here, stay here, live here, and work here. So that's in a nutshell what I do. So it's a little bit of everything. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, buildings and grounds.
Good morning. My name is Ben Octon. Some new faces. I'd like to welcome those and say congratulations to all of you. The Buildings and Grounds Department, I've been working here as a superintendent for a year and a half. I came from some construction, maintenance, and a little bit of education experience in building maintenance and construction. Our offices are in the North Annex across the street on the first floor, and we maintain the courthouse campus here with the North Annex included, the museum takes care of themselves. A couple of garages here, the law enforcement center, including the sheriff's department and jail, and occasionally some help with the outlying EMS stations. It's been a unique opportunity, and most of the equipment here, mechanically and heating and cooling, my predecessors and you all have helped get more than a lifetime of work out of it. So a lot of this stuff is it's a miracle. Some of it's still going, but it's a testament to how some stuff was built and maintained, and part of the reason the board had decided to build a new building. So I'm excited as a department to maintain something new in the future, and also keep what's going here in the meantime. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and congratulations. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Ben. UW Extension. Pat?
Morning, my name is Pat Wagner. I work as the Area 14 Extension Director, which means I serve as an administrative person for Waushara, Marquette, Green Lake, Adams, and Juneau counties. Extension is a division of UW-Madison. We are here to help our residents of each of those counties identify needs and then bring information, research from the university to the people in the counties that I help serve. In Waushara County, we have staff downstairs. We're in the basement. We have a 4-H youth development educator, as well as a health and well-being educator. And I know that Marianne's been helping Melissa with some things that she's trying to work with the department heads. It was fun to see Ms. Nowak get recognized, because I also worked with her 30-something years ago when I was a 4-H youth development educator in the county. So it's good to be home. Thank you. Congratulations to all of you. And I look forward to working with Waushara County residents now and in the future. Thanks.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you, Pat. The surveyor. Here. Jerry's.
Be here this afternoon.
Okay, all right, come on. IT, Gary.
Hi, my name is Barry. I'm the IT director. I am been in the job for 6 years, and I am run the department for the entire county for all of the computers and any needs that go in with technology. We'll be doing a little training later on the tablets and things. I did leave my a business card for you guys, so if you have problems or needs or anything in regards to your technology, you can give me a call anytime. I'm always available.
That's just county technology. You have other ones.
Yeah.
We're not going to overload them with our own personal stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Barry. Solid Waste Highway, Brian.
My name is Brian Frymark. I've been here, I don't know, almost 7 years. I inherited solid waste about 3 years ago. That includes 9 collection sites. We also do not only solid waste there, but also recycling. That includes a grant process for the recycling, about $82,000. That comes back to the county board every year to help run that program. And then there's some stuff with yard waste and then electronic recycling that we do at the office Monday through Thursday. And on the highway side of things, we maintain 136 miles of state roads, 334 miles of county roads, and currently we're maintaining 367 miles of township roads. There's some townships that have agreements with us that we do their work for them. 8 out of 18 at this time. Our budget, because we do that work for the state, we do different things for different entities. We actually have a budget for the highway system through the levy of about 2.5 million, but our actual budget's almost 7.5 million. So, thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Brian. All right, Parks.
My name is Kevin Beam. I'm the Director of Parks here. We maintain about 656 acres of parkland, about 12 miles of trails. We have 14 park sites, including the fairgrounds. We do not put the fair on. We do work closely with the Fair Association, do a lot of the setup and the tear down for the fair, but that is a separate entity outside of the county. We're also starting a lot of recreation programs. Some of the things you may have seen, we had the drive-through Foods of the Fair last year during COVID. We did the Christmas lights at the fairgrounds, which is grown substantially over the last 2 years, with the anticipated growth again this year. We put in just shy of 1 million lights out there last year, which is pretty good for small little Waushara County. But we do a lot of nature walks, hikes. We participate with the health department and the Ice Age Trail in implementing Walk the Wash, which is a summer-long get out and explore the parks and different facilities throughout the county. So we do a lot of that stuff. April 29th is Arbor Day. We will be celebrating Arbor Day by planting some trees over at Lake Alpine Park. Something we started last year with playground replacements. We tear some trees out, cut them down. So we go back in and we put some trees into the parks, and we celebrate Arbor Day. This will be our second Arbor Day this year. So we're out and about. We do a lot of support for other departments. We're small. We have 1 full-time guy and 2 part-time staff and a couple seasonal in the summer, but we can get a lot done. So congratulations. Welcome aboard to the new members and look forward to working with everyone.
Very good. Thank you, Kevin. Sheriff? You guys get along.
First of all, congratulations to everybody in this room, right? It's tough. Elections are always tough, and I know all that is. I have to go through one this year also. So congratulations to you folks. I'm Sheriff Wally Zolke. I was elected in 2019. Previous employed there for 23 years prior to that. I have staff of 65. I'm in charge of the dispatch center, jail, detectives division, and court security. Something we started 2 years ago, court security, securing this building, and I think we'll continue on to that in the new complex. Obviously, I'm probably getting attacked on both sides of the building over at the sheriff's office on 430 East Division Street, the new court complex, and potentially the new building addition to the sheriff's department on the west side. So anybody has any questions, feel free to stop in. My door is always open. I'm always there, unfortunately. So, thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Wally. All right. Emergency medical services.
Morning, I'm Brian Donaldson. I'm the chief of EMS. Been here for about 7.5 years and am soon to be headed to warmer weather. So there'll be an infusion of new lifeblood in our department in my position pretty soon. Right?
Yes.
Good. We, as you can imagine, we take care of the acutely ill and injured. We also take care of the chronically ill. We do that in the pre-hospital and the inter-facility setting. We've got locations throughout Waushara County, a station in Hancock, a station in Poisippi, one in Wild Rose, and one here in town. We cover about 750 square miles of primary response area. That's most of Waushara County, a little bit of Marquette County, and 3 townships in Adams County. We run about 3,600 calls a year. 75% of those are 911s and 25% of those are interfacility transfers. Our offices are located for now in the North Annex. If you need anything, have any questions, feel free to contact us. Congratulations to all of you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Very good. Thank you, Brian. Well, now we'll take a break from that. And, you know, we're going to be having a test on all these names and their primary functions, just, well, not really. But we'll give them a break, partly to keep their schedules going, and then we'll meet some more coming later. So number 10 will be the review of the county board bylaws and possible recommendations. I know who is bringing those forward. Ruth, I say there's some changes.
So this was sent out in your packet. This is nothing that you need to act on today. What we want you to do is take them, look at them and see if there are any additional changes that you want to make. These are changes that were suggested by administration, the executive committee, and some department heads. Usually this time of year, we do some cleanup work and change anything that we think needs to be changed. Again, we don't need you to act today. These are things to think about, and then it'll be brought back at the May meeting to make any changes that you want. So these are all, except for when we get to the combination of the executive committee and the personnel committee. The county board did approve that in March. So the language in here is just cleaning up what was done by resolution in March to combine those two committees. Otherwise, everything else is just a proposal and up for debate and your final decision in May. So the first change is consideration of changing our regular meetings from 7 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock at night, that you'll find on pages 3 and 4. On page 5, we had always allowed the county board chair to act as an ex officio member of any committee if somebody was not able to make it, so that that committee could still have a quorum and business could be done. What we had found at certain times, there were times when the county board chair also could not make it, and then it became that the meeting needed to be rescheduled, or there just wasn't a meeting that month. So this is for consideration, is that if John couldn't make it to a committee that he's filling in for somebody, he could contact one of you who's not on the committee to see if you could fill in instead, so that the meeting could continue. On page 8, there used to be a prohibition about having additional committee meetings on the same day as a county board meeting, given the limited number of you and the limited number of days and different people's work schedules. Sometimes that became difficult, so we're offering to take away that prohibition, so you would have another day a month that you could have a meeting if you need to. Once the committees are appointed later today, one of the first business items that each of your committees will need to do is to appoint a chair and vice chair of the committee, as well as establish a regular day and time of the committee meeting. So just to remind you that those committee meetings are your meetings, and while they may have been always happening on a third Wednesday or a first Wednesday or whatever day at 10 a.m., 7 a.m., 4:30 p.m., 3 o'clock in the afternoon, once the committees are set, the committee members get to decide what works best for your schedules, and then we will schedule them moving forward based upon what you tell us. The next one is a recommendation that came from the executive committee prohibiting the use of cell phones during county board meetings. That's on page 10. Moving along, there is on page 16, this is the one that I talked about, where the county board in March had decided to combine the executive committee and the personnel committee. We were finding a lot of redundancy in those two committees, a lot of things relating to changing jobs, adding new people would be at personnel, and then they would also have to go to exec because of the finance piece that goes with it and the money before it would come to county board. So it was suggested that those two committees be combined since they were doing the same duties for part of it. That's on page 16, adding the personnel duties. Page 19 eliminates the personnel committee. On page 21, the recommendation is that because the transportation committee has been doing more work, and last year we did take in we used to contract with Waushara Industries to do our food delivery service, as well as some of our medical and volunteer transports for the aging department. Waushara Industries went out of business. We did put that service out to bid. We received one bid on that, which was cost prohibitive for the county. And so we were able to work out a deal where we obtained the vehicles that Waushara Industries had. We had been partners with them in purchasing those vehicles through a state program, and were able to transfer their license from Waushara Industries to us. And then we brought those part-time employees in-house. And so now the Transportation Committee would have additional functions. So it used to be a subcommittee of the Commission on Aging. The recommendation is that be a standalone committee due to those increased responsibilities. The Veteran Service Committee is recommended to be eliminated. By statute, the Veterans Office has to have a Veterans Service Commission, which is made up of veterans who are citizen members, not county board members. Their function by statute is if a veteran is in need of financial assistance or other assistance, they can come to the commission to ask for funding or other help. And they had been meeting more regularly than the Veterans Service Committee. And so our Veterans Service Officer had recommended that they could take on the few duties that the Veterans Service Committee was doing, usually on a quarterly basis. So it was recommended to combine those two committees. And other than that, those were the changes that were recommended. So if there are any other changes that any of you would also like to propose, please get that information to me or Megan, and we can get it put into the packet for the May County Board meeting.
Thank you, Ruth. I know that we're not going to be debating this today, but is there anybody that would have any questions just for clarification or anything if they don't? I know I had one that I guess I'm kind of figuring out why, but you had put in there to move this meeting from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Is that to help with staff because there's a lot of supporting staff and with us, or what was the reasoning behind that?
I think mostly because a lot of the department heads just stay here until 6 or until 7. So I know that some of the school boards meet earlier at 6. So it was my suggestion.
Okay, very good. Anybody else have anything they would like to ask Ruth or Melissa?
I just want to clarify that the May meeting, we will be here at 7, correct?
Correct.
Yep, none of this. Yep. Thanks, Pat. It's good. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you, Ruth.
Yep.
All right, we'll move into number 11 there, election of committees. We'll start with Public Works Committee. Megan.
Public Works Committee, so back to your packet with the elections, that's the pink, or Public Works Board, yep. So the one with the pink bar across the top. So there are 4 members that are elected to the Public Works Board. So we'll do similar to we did before, but when we get to voting, you will be voting for 4 at a time. So you can put an X next to your nominations for the Public Works Board. You can nominate as many as you would like and put your initials on there.
Is this? Oh, the way here. There. That's from yep. Yep. I think I gave you mine. Yeah, I gave you mine. Okay. Oh, wait, maybe I didn't. I didn't. Megan, here you go. Sorry about that.
So nominations for the Public Works Board. So we have Bonfiglio, Piaski, Jarvis, and Waddell. Piaski, King, Waddell, and Kirschner. Urban, Piaski, Peterson, Eckstein, and Bossard. Peterson, Jarvis, King, Wadle, Kirschner, Piaski, Eckstein, King, Kirschner, Piaski, Peterson, and Wadle, Eckstein, Bonfiglio, Piaski, Jarvis, Kirschner, and that's all the nominations. So we have 10 nominations up there for the Public Works Board. We will be electing 4 people before we start the elections. We'll just go through if anybody has any comments as to why they would be a good candidate for the committee. We'll start with Mr. Bonfiglio.
I think it's a huge budget. The thing's supposed to be that whole-
Mr. Piaski?
I know I'm new to the board, but I do believe I can bring some value to this department. I have been following a lot of the meetings online and looked at some of the meeting minutes and notes, so I would look forward to participating in this function.
Mr. Eckstein?
I've been on the board for most of my tenure on the county board. I'm chairman now, been chairman for years.
Mr. Jarvis?
I would be interested in serving on it as well. I've never been on it, but like the others said, it's an interesting board, and it would be one that I would like to help out on if I could. So.
Mr. Bossard?
At this point, there, with so many capable candidates there, I would withdraw my name.
Okay. Mr. King?
I'm currently on the Public Works Board and enjoy it very much, and I hope to continue to be on it.
Mr. Wadle?
I also am currently on the board. I've been on for my last 2 years, and previously I was on. I enjoy working with the EMS department and Sheriff's Department. So once again, I would like to continue on that board.
Mr. Urban?
Well, I'm also one of the new guys, and so reading through, it's been a lot of reading and figuring out what each one of these committees do. But it's I take interest in it. I think it's something I could add value to.
Mr. Kirschner?
Been on there for 6 years. What's going on? I'd like to stay on.
So now we will vote for Public Works Board. You'll be using your pink ballot and you'll be voting for 4 people. So again, include first and last name if you could, please. You do need to initial these ballots and put your the 4 people, the 4 candidates that you're voting for this committee all on the one ballot, and then we'll tally them.
Lindsay? Thanks.
Okay, so I'm going to read these off and Lindsay's going to help tally these. So we have Bart Peterson, Jesse Urban, Everett Eckstein, and John Jarvis. Okay. Mark Piaski, Mark Kirschner, John Jarvis, and Brandon Bonfiglio. Mark Kirschner, Everett Eckstein, Pat King, and Mark Piaski. Brandon Bonfiglio, Bart Peterson, Jesse Urban, and Mark Piaski. Mark Piaski, Bart Peterson, Everett Eckstein, and John Jarvis. Mark Kirschner, Mark Piaski, Pat King, and Bob Wadle. Brandon Bonfiglio, Mark Kirschner, Pat King, and Jesse Urban. Mark Kirschner, Robert Wadle, Pat King, Everett Eckstein. Mark Kirschner, Everett Eckstein, Patrick King, and Mark Piaski. Last one, Mark Piaski, Jesse Urban, Robert Wadle, and Pat King. So at 3, 7, 3, 3, 6. So Mark Piaski has 7, Mark Kirschner and Pat King with 6, and Everett Eckstein with 5. So on the Public Works Board are Mark Piaski, Everett Eckstein, Patrick King, and Mark Kirschner.
All right. Congratulations. We'll move into the Land, Water, and Education Committee.
Okay, so next nomination form, the yellow one for Land, Water, and Education. So same thing, we'll be electing 4 members to this committee. You can nominate as many as you would like.
Okay, so let's go.
Okay, so nominations for Land, Water, and Education Committee. We have Mr. Bonfiglio, Mr. Piaski, and Mr. Wadle. Mr. Piaski, Mr. Jarvis, Mr. Wadle, and Mr. Urban. Mr. Piaski, Mr. Jarvis, Mr. Wadle, Mr. Urban, Mr. Peterson, Mr. King, Mr. Urban, and Mr. Kirschner. Mr. Piaski, Mr. Peterson, Mr. Jarvis, Mr. Wadell, Mr. Urban, Mr. Urban, Mr. Cap, Mr. Jarvis, Mr. King, Mr. Wadell, Mr. Urban, Mr. Piaski, Mr. Eckstein, Mr. Jarvis, Mr. Bosshard, Mr. Wadell, Mr. Urban. That's everybody. Bonfiglio, Cap, Bosshard, Urban, and Peterson, Eckstein, and King. So we have nominations for all 11 supervisors for the Land, Water, and Education Committee. So we'll go around again if anybody has any comments that they would like to share with the group before we vote. Mr. Kirschner?
Yeah, I have quite a bit of experience in cranberry farming, although that's not really big in this county, but working with different educational programs and growers and processors alike. It's just a department that really interests me, and committee I feel I'd be of value to.
Mr. Wadell?
I've been on this committee for several years. I enjoy working with the people on that committee and would appreciate being nominated again.
Mr. King?
I'll withdraw.
Mr. Bosshard?
Being new, I would serve, so. I would be willing to serve, yeah.
Mr. Jarvis?
I've been on this committee as well, all the time I've been on the board. I feel I do have a lot to add to this committee, and I think it's one that I could add a lot of expertise to, so.
Mr. Eckstein?
I've been on this committee for quite a few years. I was taken off because I had too many committees, but I'd welcome being back on it.
Mr. Cap is not here. Mr. Peterson?
I certainly don't know a lot about this committee, but certainly would like to be on this committee and help where I can help.
Mr. Piaski?
Chairman of the committee and been on there 4 years. Public departments.
Mr. Bonfiglio?
I've never been on the committee, but it does align with my interests. I also own a land clearing wildlife management business, so it would be perfectly suited for that. You guys see fit.
Okay, so voting for this one, you'll be initialing your ballots. You'll be voting for 4 people for Land, Water, and Education Committee. Nominations are up there for Bonfiglio, Piaski, Peterson, Cap, Eckstein, Jarvis, Bosshard, Wadell, and Urban. So you're voting for 4 out of those nominations. Again, Mark Piaski, John Jarvis, Jesse Urban, Brandon Bonfiglio. Brandon Bonfiglio, Jesse Urban, Mike Cap, Bart Peterson. John Jarvis, Mark Piaski, Bart Peterson, Everett Eckstein. Mark Piaski, Brandon Bonfiglio, Jesse Urban, John Jarvis. Jesse Urban, Bob Wadle, Mark Piaski, John Jarvis. Wadle, Jarvis, Piaski, and Urban. Bonfiglio, Piaski, Bosshard, Urban. Urban, Peterson, Cap, Wadle. Piaski, Urban, Jarvis, Wadle. Last one, Piaski, Wadle, Urban, and Peterson. Piaski 8, Peterson 4, Cap 2, Eckstein 1, Jarvis 6, Bosshard 1, Wadle 5, Urban 9. So our top 4 vote getters for the Land, Water, Education Committee are Jesse Urban, Mark Piaski, John Jarvis, and Robert Wadle.
Then we'll go into the Planning and Zoning Committee.
Again, we'll be electing 4 to this committee. Nominate as many as you would like.
Thanks.
Okay, let's see. Nominations for Planning and Zoning Committee. We have Piaski, Peterson, Bosshard, Wadle, Urban, and Kirschner. Bonfiglio, Peterson, Bosshard, and Urban. Peterson, Bosshard, King, and Wadle. Jarvis, King, Wadle, Urban. Urban, Peterson, King, Wadle, Urban. Peterson, Cap, Bosshard, Wadle, Peterson, Bosshard, Urban. Peterson, Kirschner, Bonfiglio, Peterson, King, and Wadle. We have nominations for 10 supervisors up there. And we'll go through one last time for Planning and Zoning Committee. Any comments you'd like to make before we vote, Mr. Bonfiglio? Mr. Piaski? Mr. Peterson?
I have been following this committee. I've been to quite a few of the committee meetings and followed everything that they've done online. I'm very interested in participating in this.
Mr. Cap is absent. Mr. Jarvis?
I'm going to withdraw as well. It's a committee that's very important, but I may need to step in there as chair once in a while. And I think it's important to have a base group there, and then I could step in if I need to. So.
Okay. Mr. Bossard?
It's a committee that I'm very interested in serving in. 25 years experience as a land surveyor. I already work closely with the zoning department on a regular basis, and it is an area that definitely is in my wheelhouse and would be exciting to serve on it.
Okay. Mr. King?
I'm currently serving on that board or committee. It's been very interesting. It's very challenging at times. You have to be fair, and you have to, it's challenging. It really has been, but I very much enjoy it on that committee. I've learned a lot about other areas of the county, and I really appreciate your support. So,
Mr. Wadle?
I am currently the chair of the zoning committee. Like Pat said, it's very challenging. You have to be fair and give everybody a fair shake, which I believe our committee has done. And like Pat, I would appreciate your support for this committee.
Mr. Urban?
I figure I've been giving planning and zoning a hard time for long enough. It's time to help out for a change. So.
And Mr. Kirschner? So the nominations for Planning and Zoning Committee then are Bonfiglio, Peterson, Cap, Bosshard, King, Wadle, and Urban. So you're voting for 4 members on your purple ballot, and please initial those.
Go, Megan. Megan. All right. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. That's good. Thank you.
Okay, so Bonfiglio, Cap, Bosshard, Wadle. Bosshard, Peterson, King, Wadle. Bonfiglio, Bosshard, Urban, Wadle. King, Wadle, Bosshard, Urban. Wadle, King, Urban, Bosshard. Bosshard, King, Wadle, Urban. Wadle, Urban, Peterson, King. Wadle, Peterson, Cap, Bonfiglio. Cap, Wadle, King, Peterson. Peterson, Bosshard, Waddle, Bonfiglio. So Bonfiglio has 4, 5 for Peterson, 3 for Cap, Bosshard 7, King 6, Waddle 10, and Urban 5. So we have Waddle with 10, Bosshard with 7, King with 6, and then we have a tie at 5 with Peterson and Urban. So then Ruth, are we revoting just for those 2? Okay. So we're going to give you one more purple ballot. And so for the 4th position, right now we have Bosshard, King, and Waddle that have been elected to the Planning and Zoning Committee. We have a tie between Peterson and Urban, so we are going to revote between just those 2. So you are voting for one now, either Peterson or Urban.
Oh, yeah. I did. Okay. I think that's weird. Give us a second. Side again.
Okay, we're going to vote again between Urban and Peterson.
I know.
People change their mind and they'll come at 5 again.
Yeah.
Where's the coin? Sometimes they flip a coin.
We just won the bet,
Yeah,
didn't we?
Yeah, that's it. Did.
This could go on.
I
forever.
know.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Does either candidate have any additional comments to make before we take a 3rd vote? We have Peterson and Urban.
No, nothing additional for me.
Okay.
Mhm.
One, 2, 4, 5 Peterson. 4, 5 for Urban.
Don't you just have the other committee members vote?
Pardon?
The 3, right? And then it breaks that tie? Have those three people vote, be done with it?
So our bylaws don't specify at this point, other than to continue voting.
Can we make a motion to make that a thing? It's like right now and just get
To
it done?
suspend the rules and
Yeah.
No.
You know,
No.
in,
no.
in elections for like, city council, when it's a tie, they draw cards.
Draw cards or flip a coin.
Coin flip.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I mean, is that not acceptable?
Of
They
course,
do
it was
in
locked
other-
out.
Right, yeah.
No, no. I think
She
she
knew
did.
this was
I think she
coming.
did on purpose.
So my understanding of when we elect committees per statutory requirements is that you continue voting and you have a winner.
Oh, and you just have a smoke signal?
I mean, we can certainly come back to this potentially when Ruth is available, or I don't know what you propose at this point.
Let's see, try to vote again, probably.
Vote again?
That's, wouldn't you?
I guess I wouldn't want to change the procedure, but there's nothing that's going to change anyone's mind at this point if we come back twice with the same.
Unless 4 people change their mind.
Yeah.
Switched.
Yeah.
Do any of you, either one of you want to state your?
I guess that's the only thing.
Maybe that would help too if, if,
You guys just both want to just state a little reason. I know you already did, but why you want to be on this committee, and maybe that would sway your fellow board members' vote.
Yeah, I can just reiterate what I said earlier. I followed a lot of the zoning committee meetings. I think I'm up to speed and up to date with where they're at. I know this involves a lot with the public, which I don't have any issues being part of the public, being part of the public eye and representing the county in the zoning department. So that's about all I got to say.
Mr. Urban.
Yeah, so I think just to make it easy on everybody, I'm gonna withdraw mine. And is that doable? Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yep. They wouldn't need to do another ballot though.
Could I have a motion for that to cast an unanimous ballot since Mr. Urban has withdrawn? Yes.
Make that motion.
Okay, Mr. Eckstein, and there's a second.
Second that.
Okay, by Mr. Bossard. All in favor?
We have
Opposed?
We have someone can do a backup then.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
You know,
Well,
they're
that's
eager
good to have,
backup.
good to have a
So
motion.
just to clarify or confirm them, for the Planning and Zoning Committee, we have elected Bosshard, King, Wadel, and Peterson.
Okay, very good. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to be stepping out here to work on the other committee assignments. So I'd ask Mark if you'd run the meeting from here. And actually, I think we're going to be changing 13 and 12 around to accommodate schedules. Is that right, Michelle? So, all right. So I'll step away then if you want, and we'll do the next 3. It depends on how much time it takes. And if it's any more than that, you can go into a short recess. There's some snacks and things that we can have at that point, and then we'll figure out the rest of the committees. So Megan, do you need you have a list of what people are wanting for committees? Okay. Okay.
And if there's extra time, both department heads and county board members, we would like to take your photo. So down in Barry's office, there is a gentleman named Jacob, and he has a green screen for you to take your lovely smiling picture. So we will have, it's just nice to have faces with the names on the website, and then your community members know who you are. Same with the department heads. You guys don't all have to rush over there. If you don't work in the building, maybe you want to pop down there before you leave today. Thank you.
Good enough.
Turn it over to Barry and let him. Sure.
They have to go on the tour.
I think Michelle's going first.
Oh,
Mine just died.
If you don't know me, my name is Michelle Olson. I've been an executive assistant for the administration office for Waushara County. I will be hitting my 30 years here this year.
How many?
30.
30.
I'm not one of the oldest here. There's some that have been here longer than me, but I have been here for 30 years. So right now I am in charge of doing your per diems. In your packets, I believe in your folders, you have your per diem slip. What I need from you is to put your name at the top, the date of the meeting, the name of the meeting, and how many miles you traveled to and from the meeting. I will fill in the rest as far as your per diem. If you want to fill it in, I'm okay with that. You don't have to calculate the miles out. They change every year. Again, if you want to, I'm fine with that. If you do have any meals or registration that you want to put on here, that's fine. Usually the departments or the committees that you are on, if they are sending you to a conference, they will probably be paying for that. But if you have anything that you want to claim, please put it on here. And then just flip it over, and at the top, I just need your signature. That's all you need on the second sheet. There's also a packet. In the packet is the calendar of the pay dates for the county. So whenever you bring them, they come into our office. I will show you when we go on a little tour, the mail room. You can always throw it in our box, the administration mailbox, or you can bring it to our office. We do like them the Friday before payday. So, but you can bring it anytime. Just understand that paydays are every other week. And then there is also the compensation rates in the folder. What you are putting down for county board meetings are $75 with mileage, and committee meetings are $50. If you're attending a full day conference lasting 6 hours or more, then it would be $75. So do you have any questions on that so far? And I'm always available, or if you bring in your per diem and you have some questions, we just need to ask.
If they let it build up, I think they have a total of 60 days.
Oh, thank you. Yes, 60 days. And I will cut you off.
I can attest to that.
Unfortunately, I did do that. Yes.
That's okay. That was all right.
So yeah, 60 days. You can bring them as much as you want. A lot of them just bring them a month at a time. If you want to bring it every couple weeks, whatever works for you, just know that if it's not a pay week, we will hold it till the next pay week, and then we'll process it with the county employees payroll. That's when you're paid. Everything's done through direct deposit. I think the 3 new members received your direct deposit, and I believe they're en route. So, but if you have any questions, we're always available. So the other thing I'm supposed to do is take you for a little tour in the county, and we can stop by down in Barry's office. She can show you where you need to go for your picture. I'll show you the meeting rooms so you know where different meetings will be held, as well as some different offices just in the courthouse building. Okay.
All of them show. Been there, done that. Go down there. Yeah, for the new people, I know very much.
Yeah, thanks. That's a great code that's plugged in there. Yeah.
I guess it's been 4 years.
Been there, done that.
We've done that. This is my second home. This is my second home.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not. I'll do the email and the website first. Yeah.
Shake your head. We do the same. Maybe it's not smart, but these are things that we do. What that? The whole thing is about they don't follow. That's why now laughing so must be getting jokes or something. All day. He does he does every damn meeting. That's stupid. We're helping you pay attention. What's going on here?
Censure. That's part of the.
Look, tell you the way.
But
Not for the last 6 months.
He hasn't been to human services for the last year.
because I just heard something. I don't think that's. Vaccination was accepted. And I said something. And it didn't have more time. I go, if he was listening, he would have said something, and he said no. And we didn't hear anything. So I know.
And this is 6 months ago, because he hasn't done
He hasn't been to human services. And if you're not going to go, a lot of times, he hasn't even called, said he's not going to be there. We sit and wait, because he's not coming.
We'll see.
They. Next week, used to move down.
Who's you guys?
But you used to have. Exactly.
Yeah. That's the most important. Committee, the whole work.
Get no fan and get.
All our. No, that was Ripley. That was Ripley. Believe it or not. All our meetings, that's the rest.
What the hell happened to mine? Oh, never thought of that.
He's got issues with what? I thought it was 10 today. It was break.
Well, he's got issues.
His wife drives him a lot, so I don't know if he's got more fun than a mobile or what. His wife drives him. Unless he's sick, he's sick. All this. Said something.
I can do mine at all.
I left mine alone, don't need it, be buzzing the ring.
County website.
I don't have any cords for.
Might be.
Oh,
Never thought of that.
Oh, I have,
Where, we're done?
Not sure how to figure it out.
like, come on.
You didn't know you could sign up for stuff?
There's a couple back here. I have one place where my.
Well, they had it going last many years.
I think we can live all together. Half the shit that comes down there is spam or something you don't need.
I do like. See, this. I don't understand the.
If the chairperson can't count 10 hands.
You know, you voted for this stuff, man. Part of the.
Relentlessly, that was the last holdout. Then it was, you gotta go for it.
Do they don't have bucks? A lot of money. Spend a lot of money to get the system.
Don't do it.
Part of that is that if you vote on it. The others.
Not until everybody's done.
Right, so it doesn't sway
Come up
people.
on the screen, everybody's voting.
It's just locked. And then they switch it to yay or nay, right? So when I get it, I mean, I watch, like from that side of the board, you know, like yay, nay, and you're like counting on like a hand, and you just switch to that last person when it's 5 and 5, and like you can tell they're getting swayed, you know, because I could have had the decision before everyone else started voting. So that's the reason why.
I'm just watching it flip through the picture here.
One thing.
No, this is the. See the message. Big square logo. That should be a logo.
To do it together.
That should be. That's pretty cool. And the cool thing about it, they just made that. Nobody.
That's what they say.
Yeah, the logo we have now.
But I mean,
This logo.
some of these are.
They used to. People just added the B to it.
Yeah.
It's like, as far as I can tell,
You might want to get
every ad.
I've got to represent a constituency. Like, I'm in a rural area, you're in a big city, somewhere, you know? It's like, yeah, right. Right. Now, and that's another thing. That just for. People that live in these towns. Walk into the system, I think, because they own property, have nice homes. Not all.
Inside out for.
And city chair.
Zoning chair. Put the light off because I want to do a state chair. Oh, yeah. I knew you'd get.
No, I have certain.
Maybe it's just you, Pat.
The public safety, yeah, you got public works, that's highway.
Well, I mean, it's more for me.
But, which.
Well, that's,
There, it's
like, I
very
used to
small.
when I ran against that.
God, was kind of upset that I run running to see my myself. And I said, it comes at the wrong time of the day. Huh?
It was 4 out of 5 or something. Yeah, no, and I don't even know. Nobody ran against them. Yeah, so.
Hey, you're.
I could
find that. She's
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
be
yeah.
with it.
What you call it? I was
No,
told
she's
that
supposed to be with the.
if need be, that I'd be an alternate if you needed somebody to fill in, you know. I mean, that part I would do. So, yeah. Mike, I don't know if you-
I did, yeah. Right. I was like,
How's it look on his face?
I think I still have it on my phone.
Yeah.
It was just, Barnes, right? Barnes. He had called.
Fine,
me and said,
just so you know.
look at this spot or something like that, you know, and he called again. Yeah, asking him, you know.
I was on it for 10 years. And it hits at
Talk to you.
9 o'clock in the morning. That's so busy.
Weird driver. What's that? Oh, and he didn't have a driver's license?
Oh, public safety. Hopefully Jarvis puts everybody back on those committees, you know, because they're familiar with things.
Oh, that is.
And I'm surprised because usually when they pick out these committees, the whole executive board goes in. So we did last time and the time before that. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know.
But.
Oh, well.
A lot of things.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping.
We close.
Favorites, I forget them, so.
Just so you know.
Stuff and he puts good topics, fills it off, and it's so good. Like, probably you can go get a adjustment. You're gonna cover something.
Yeah. You're gonna introduce me or am I just gonna start?
Does mine have
They
to
don't
be,
know who you are after you introduced yourself already, then they.
do these have to be operational?
It's preferable, yes.
I had it charging all night and all went dead. So
There's a cord, it should be right
see
there,
that.
just plug it in.
better plug it in.
this building and they go up.
I'm gonna teach computer classes at Fox Valley Tech.
That's all right. That's all right. I've lived all my life without all this.
Oh, no, I mean, it's the basement, ignore the tunnel. I mean, I don't know, it's just, you know, we actually.
Want
had
coffee?
pictures done too, so their pictures are-
No, you wanna drink coffee?
Yeah.
It's good for your heart.
No, I know.
I don't need to go too far. Thank you very much.
You wanna bring it here, I'll log it in.
Oh, I
Have to log in. Oh, thank you. Well.
I'm just gonna grab those here.
Yep.
How was the tour?
Good.
Right. Exactly. The only one I really care about is that impacts everything. Well, exactly.
27 feet, they ought to clean homes here. 26. At least there's candy in this one.
Well, when we're done today, before you leave, if you want to get with me, we'll figure out what we want that to be.
Okay, perfect.
Just, we have a 20 character policy. So all the other board members are still on the older policy, so we don't have to change it.
Okay.
But because she was the chair.
Always surprised.
Changed hers, and then it gets put into the policy, and you can't put it back.
My shop.
So we just need to figure out something that's you're comfortable with, that you can remember, and then I'll just make a note of it.
Okay,
But yeah,
excellent.
when we're done, no rush. I figure we'll just get you logged in now and then you're all set.
Sounds good.
Everybody here? Somebody sitting next to me.
John's.
John's.
Yeah, we're all back.
Okay, we'll reconvene the county board meeting here, and the next thing on the agenda is Barry will be kind of going over roll call and tablet training.
All right. So if you have your tablets with you, I borrowed Mr. Bonfiglia's tablet at this point, so I can do the presentation here on it. So I have it up on the screen, what the screens will look like in general. If you're not logged in, go ahead and log into the tablet. It should be, if you don't know your password, it should be on a sticky note on your tablet there somewhere. And if you need help logging in, then either myself or Lindsay can come get you logged in. If you have any problems with these at all, I have remote access. So if you just call me, I left my business card. It's got my cell phone and my work line, and you can reach out to me anytime. Be assured that the sheriff's department reaches out to me 24/7. So you can do that if you need to. It's not a big deal. Did you get logged
My
in?
password isn't working. You set me up, Barry?
It should be Waushara 1 with all lowercase.
Oh, okay.
If it's not, try a capital W. It's going to be one or the other. We weren't very uniform when I
All
set
right,
these
we
up.
got
I'm
it.
sorry about
All right,
that.
thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to show you. I don't know if you've looked at. I'm assuming maybe you have our website that we have. This is just our general. It's just the county website, and if you haven't been to it, it's pretty good. I'm clicking on all kinds of stuff here. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you this because there is a page that we added on here, the Waushara County Building Project. I don't know if you've been on our website to see that, but this is a link that will take you to just a little description, and then in that description, you can click on the actual building project, and it takes you to the website that shows our building and what's going on with the new building, what's happening with it. There's different tabs at the top that shows you what's happening in the process of the building, where they're at in the process, how we got to where we are, all of those things. So if you haven't had the opportunity to review that, I would suggest that you can go out and do that at any given time. So I wanted to show you that on the website as well. Also, there is on the news and announcements page here, if you scroll down, I know you don't have it on your screen, that's fine, but there is an option on the website under the news and announcements where you can sign up to subscribe to email notifications. If you you can put in your personal email or your county board email, whichever one you want, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to be notified for. So anytime a news announcements gets added to the website, or anytime an agenda is posted that you're interested in or you're part of, those will you'll get an email that'll announce that those have been updated, and it'll have a link that takes you to the website and look at those agendas or those announcements or anything like that. So that's just something to have as available to you as well. Also, there is a calendar of events, and it'll tell you when the next meetings are coming up and when they're planned for. If you click on the more events, it'll bring up the entire calendar, and it'll show what meetings are scheduled for that month. And in those links, it'll take you to the meetings that are scheduled, and you can click on the particular meeting and it'll take you to that meeting and what's going on in it. And then of course, all the agendas and everything that are on there are available as well. So that's our county website. It's just www.co.waushara.wi.us is the address for that. If you need help with that, let me know. On your screen, you're going to have the two icons that you're really going to be concerned with is the Outlook icon. So if you see Outlook, if you're familiar with these, you've used them before, that's fine. If not, if you double click on that Outlook icon, it will open up your email, and any emails that come in will be listed there. And if you need help with working with the Outlook or questions about that, let me know and I can help you out with that as well. But that's where your emails will come in. All your committee meetings, packets, board agendas, all of that stuff will come into that email. And that's how we get our documents and everything for meetings and anything as far as that goes. The other one, and this is the important one that we really need to be aware of. If you look on the desktop there, it's a meeting member app, it's called. It's if you see on the screen, it's this one I'm hovering over. If you double click on that, that's going to bring up the open meeting. This is the roll call. So this will be used at our next meeting. We're not using it today, but we will be using it at our next meeting and all meetings going forward. This is a voting software that allows us to do roll call votes without in a secret manner. It does get posted out on the screen as a display, but the display doesn't show until everyone has had their vote. So that way everyone gets to vote on their own. They don't get they don't hear what everybody else is voting until it's all done. So it's a way that all the votes go in, all the roll call votes go in as a vote like that. So if you click on the button that says sign in, your settings should be there. So if you click sign in, it should just populate, and hopefully everything is still working. And it'll come up and look like this, and it'll show that you're logged in and that you're waiting for roll call at this point. So Megan has put together some test agendas. So if you see on the screen, it popped up and says, click on that green button, that'll say you're present. So that's going to tell you that you're here at the meeting. And then Megan, when she's here, Lindsay currently has a screen that shows when everybody has clicked in, and that's how we mark everybody present. That screen will be displayed up on the board. We don't have it displayed now because I want you guys to see. I want to walk you through like what we're doing and how we do it and all of that. So is everybody to this point so far? Okay, so if you want to step through an agenda item there, Lindsay, just so it pops in. All right, so then the sample resolution will come up. Then we'll take the motions. So we do the motions verbally. So then someone would make a motion and someone would make a second. So then you, Megan would record that, or Lindsay here would record that. So if you want to Yeah, there you go. So then once that's done, then the next step will pop up and it'll ask for your vote. So then here you would cast your vote. You would pick which one that you want to pick. Go ahead and vote. Once all the votes are in, then everything will be displayed and it'll show on your screen who voted, who didn't, all of that. So then going forward, this will be how we'll go ahead and run through one more just so we see the process again. I think she did 2 for a sample, right? So then someone would make the motion, someone would make the second, and then the voting would come up. You pick which one you want. And then once the votes are completed, any questions on this so far at this point? So everyone should have chargers at home with your tablets. We also have chargers here and outlets for each spot. So when you come in, you can either bring your charger or you can use the chargers that are provided so that the tablets don't die. We've determined mostly that the tablets will last about 2 hours. So if you have it a full charge when you come in, it should last about 2 hours. But either way, we have the outlets and availability to plug it in when you get here so that it stays on and charged through the entire process. And if you run into any issues, problems, or whatever with that, just let me know and we'll get you fixed up. Any questions at all at this point? That's pretty much all I have as far as training goes, and it's just the tablets in general. Again, I'm always available. I give you my number so you can reach out at any time that you have a problem or question.
Any questions for Barry? Follows here.
I got a question. So my email is showing up as WCB4. Is that my email?
That should be that should be his email, right? Yeah, it doesn't match your district.
Okay.
I just need to make sure I'm pretty sure that's the right one. I just gotta make sure. Because I set that, yes, that was your login too, right?
No.
What is your login?
Well, you had me log in with Waushara 1.
But that's your password. But your actual login, let me just check that once. Hold on.
I just saw that there's stuff on there from a while ago, so I don't know.
Yes, WCB, yeah. So WCB4 is the actual email address. We set up the email address based on, we did them in order, basically, as people came in. There was no rhyme or reason to it when it was done. Same way with the tablets itself. So your district is not District 4, but your email is WCB4. We contemplated with Megan and I talked about switching and setting everything up so the numbers actually match. But at this point, everybody has the district's email address posted and everything, and everybody knows the information, and it would cause more problems to go through and switch them than it would just to leave it. So there may be some older emails in there that are from the previous. I thought that we went through and got rid of all those, but they may not. But your actual email address is WCB4@co, and it should reflect your name. So when you send an email or someone sends an email to you, it'll display your name up there.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Other questions for Barry? Thank you, Barry.
Yep.
Next thing on the agenda is department head introductions. Start with child support.
Hi, I'm Kim Stebbins. I'm the child support director at the county. I've been with the county for 10 years. We're located at on the second floor, just around the corner here. What my office deals with is the financial child support obligations. So we establish those and enforce those orders. We establish health insurance orders for children. And we establish paternity, which is legal fatherhood, making sure that all children have a father's name listed on the birth certificate. We are largely funded by state and federal grant dollars. And as the administrator indicated earlier, we received a Outstanding Achievement Award recently from the Department of Children and Families. So we're doing good things here. Thank you.
Emergency management.
Good morning. It still is morning, it looks like. So I'm Alan Lucchini. I'm the Emergency Management Director for Waushara County. I just took the position the end of March, so I'm fairly new to the emergency management world. However, I'm not new to public safety. I've been in public safety for over 20 years as in fire, EMS, and hazmat. My major responsibility is if there's any incident in the county, a major incident, I assist law enforcement, EMS, and fire departments with that incident any way I can. I also help the towns and the village and city with recouping any money to try to bring their townships or areas back up to the way they were prior to the disaster or incident that happened. So hopefully you don't have to work with me, but if you do, we'll work together and try to get you some money. I also am responsible for the mitigation plans for Waushara County and any emergency response plans that are out for Waushara County. I work with the state on that and get federal grant funding and state grant funding for that. Another position or duty that I have is procurement. I'm fairly new to that, so work with me on that and we'll try to get through it. But that was a duty that they did combine with the emergency management. I think that's about it. I look forward to working with all of you and assisting you in any way I can. Thank you.
Thank you. District Attorney.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Matt Lusink. I am the district attorney. I was elected in 2020, and I was in Walworth County as an assistant for 5 years prior to getting elected. Our office handles all of the criminal cases that come into Waushara County, as well as special prosecutions on occasion for other counties as well. We've already done 6 jury trials this year, and we've got a lot on the calendar for 2022. There are 2 other assistant DAs in our office, as well as 2 paralegals, an investigator, and a victim witness coordinator. You'll hear probably more detail about some of the things our office has been doing at the July board meeting. And thank you, everyone. And I got to go run to court now.
Thank you. Register of Deeds. Heather?
Good morning, and thank you for inviting us to tell you a little bit about our offices and ourselves. My name is Heather Shrzenska. I have been the Register of Deeds since January of 2013. In a nutshell, my office is primarily responsible for filing and issuing vital records, which would be birth, marriage, death, and divorce. We also issue certified copies and file DD-214s. Our second main role is recording real estate documents. So anything real estate related, deeds, mortgages, satisfactions, easements, certified survey maps, and plat maps. I am a member of the Waushara County Recruiting, Hiring, and Onboarding and Retention Committee. I'm an active member of my state association and served as their president in 2019 and through 2020. I'm also a member of Wisconsin Land Information Association and Property Records Industry Association, which is a nationwide land records real estate type thing. So welcome.
Thank you. Treasurer.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Yeager. I am the county treasurer. I've been in the office for 9 years. 8 of those years as deputy treasurer and just over a year as county treasurer, and I oversee 2 employees. Our office is responsible for real estate tax collection, settlements with various taxing jurisdictions, collection of general receipts, issue of tax certificates in September of every year, tax deed foreclosure, county investments, various state reporting, along with other various duties. So that's just our office in a nutshell. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Medical examiner?
Good morning, all, and I'm happy to be here in front of you. I am the medical examiner. My name is Amanda Thoma. I've been here since about 2019 March, when the system changed from coroner to medical examiner. We investigate deaths involving suicide, homicide, accidental, any unwitnessed or suspicious deaths as well. There's myself as well as currently 2 deputies that work underneath me. We are in the process of filling a 3rd position. We cover the entire county 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So it's a very, very busy schedule. We do investigate or are reported approximately 250 deaths a year in Waushara County. Of those deaths, it does break down to obviously natural, accident, homicide, suicide. We complete all death certificates for those who are involved with the cremation process. We are required to view all of those bodies before they do get cremated by state law. We work with different counties and helping them out as well. Currently, we are helping Green Lake County until they get their position changed over to a medical examiner as of next year. We also do rely on Waupaca County here and there when we can't cover our on-call time, like when I need a day off once in a while. So it does get a little bit hairy there. But I look forward to working with all of you and letting you know what the end of the year will look like in the beginning of the year.
Thank you. Finance.
Good morning. I'm Sarah Lucchini. I started with Waushara County in 2011 as the Deputy County Clerk / Finance and changed over to Finance Director in 2016. I used to report to the county clerk's office and now I fall under the county administrator. So my office is directly across from the treasurer's office and right next to county clerk's office. So that's where you are able to find me. I am responsible for maintaining all of the county's books. So all of the accounts payable, accounts receivable, financial reportings, county purchasing cards, the county budget. I work very closely with Melissa. Financial audits, our auditors actually happen to be on site this week. And then I also work with grants. And most recently, this last year, I have been working with our IT director to change over our county's financial software program. We are looking at consolidating a bunch of different programs and combining into Tyler Technologies. So that's taking up a majority of my time, but in one of those goals, we're also going to be bringing payroll back in-house, and I will also have that duty of overseeing payroll. So as until October of last year, I was a staff of 1 doing all of this, and I was lucky to use have your approval to get ARPA funds to hire a assistant payroll / finance individual who started in October, and then we were able to get that on the county books in 2022. So I also have that oversight. And that's pretty much all I have, but I look forward to working with all of you. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to email or call or whatever. For the most part, my door is always open unless I'm in Tyler training. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. Department of Aging.
Good morning. I had to look up, make sure it still is morning. Congratulations to the new folks. It's nice to have some new members on the board. I'm Debbie Pavola. I'm the director for the Department of Aging. I've been with the county. I celebrated my 20th anniversary in December of 2021. So that was exciting. I still love my job, so that's a good thing. Our department is responsible for 2 primary programs. Our largest programs are transportation and nutrition. Transportation is specialized transportation primarily for older adults and individuals with disabilities, but we also do serve public riders that have no other means of transportation as well. And then our nutrition program, most of you are familiar with home delivered meals or Meals on Wheels. And then we do also have 8 senior dining centers. which have been for the most part closed for the past 2 years. And we are just now in the process of trying to get them reestablished, working up to 3 days a week. And then hopefully the community will support that and then go higher from there in the next couple of months. We also, in collaboration with Adams County and Green Lake County, we operate a Tri-County Aging and Disability Resource Center. And some programs that fall under that are the Elder Benefit Specialist Program and the Disability Benefit Specialist, as well as our General Resource Specialists. And they help with, obviously various public benefit assistance, and then helping people with getting connected to resources in the community, as well as applying for long-term care. And we also have a very robust health promotion program. So a lot of evidence-based health promotion programs to try to reduce falls and work with some chronic conditions such as diabetes and other things. And then we have some other specialized programs. I won't name them all, but caregiving is one that we do a lot with, intergenerational programming, home repair, things like that. We are located on what we call the lower level, and we welcome you to stop down anytime to visit with us and learn more. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Conservation and zoning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Todd Waller. I'm the Director of Zoning and Land Conservation. And first and foremost, I'd like to congratulate all of you and welcome Mr. Peterson, Mr. Bossard, and Mr. Urban. I have been serving the county right now in the present capacity for the past 4.5 years. Essentially, everything that you see occurring out in the county in terms of development has come through our office. We issue all land use permits, building permits, sanitary permits. We process conditional use requests, any zone change, any type of text amendment. And then from an agricultural standpoint, we actually work very closely with all the farmers on best management practices, soil erosion, stormwater management, and also nutrient management plans. I have had the pleasure of working alongside now for the past 4.5 years my team, which is comprised of 9 exceptional team members. I have 2 deputy directors, 4 technical specialists, 3 administrative specialists, and myself. And it has just truly been a pleasure. And with that, I have also had the pleasure of working alongside many of you. And I look forward to doing that again in the future as we report directly to Land, Water, and Education Committee, Planning and Zoning Committee, as well as the Board of Adjustments. We also have the dubious task of responding to and addressing a lot of complaints as of late between a lot of the residents, zoning infractions and things like that. So with that, once again, congratulations. I thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Department of Human Services.
Good morning, Clara Voigtlander. I am the Director of the Human Services Department. I've been with Waushara County for 15 years. About 50% of that I worked in the child welfare system, and the last 50% most recently worked in the mental health unit as an outpatient therapist. I became the director for the Human Services Department in January of this year, so I'm new to this position. We're a pretty extensive department. We have the mandated programs that are required, so our child protective services, our adult protective services, youth justice, as well as maintaining a certified mental health clinic and a mobile crisis unit that responds 24/7, 365 in person. So we also are frequently a face in the community. A lot of the programs that impact our most vulnerable and the youth and elderly in our community we're a part of. So earlier this morning, I talked about Jan Novak and the Blue Ribbon Kids Day, our backpack nutrition program, our Vision 2020 program. Those are all programs that staff from our Human Services Department participate in and sit on those committees and coordinate. So looking forward to working with you moving forward and helping you become more comfortable with our department, and appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. GIS land information.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Sattler, but you can call me Steph. I am the GIS coordinator, and I head up the land records office, which I report to the county administrator. I oversee one other person, our real property lister. I have been in this position for 7 months, and I am located on the first floor in between Register of Deeds and County Clerk. My door is always open. Feel free to stop by anytime and chat. I particularly maintain all our GIS data sets for the county. I assist the county departments with any data requests, map requests, any web applications, collecting data. I also help out with reviewing CSMs that come through, seeing plats of surveys, and helping out with our real property lister as needed. We also deal with maintaining our parcel database and conducting any ownership transfers. So when there's ownership transfers due to selling and buying houses, we see all that and update our web portal. We also more or less run the tax calculation for tax season. So we work with the municipalities to get all those taxes calculated, and then we print out the tax bills. I also get our land information grants, which helps run our offices to do scanning projects and help get our land information updated and modernized. And I do deal a lot with the public, a lot of phone calls dealing or asking for maps or data requests, and if they can build on a certain zone like agriculture or stuff like that. So anything to do with surveys, data, let me know, and I'm more than happy to help out. And thank you.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is unfinished business, which there's none. Next thing after that's new business. I believe we're gonna have to wait.
I'll make a motion to go to 16C1, where that starts the resolution, so we can knock it up, will be. Then 16B.
That's a motion for to skip over and go to the resolutions. Second to it?
Second.
Motion made by Brandon, seconded by Bob to move to the resolutions. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consider possible action on the following resolution. Is there, Lindsay? Resolution number 1604, resolution confirming the appointment of Alan Wachinski as Emergency Management Director.
Second.
Second by who? Motion made by Biglio, seconded by King to approve the appointment. Is there any questions or discussion on it? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution number 17-0422, acknowledgement of Jan Nowak's retirement from the service.
Did that already.
Point of order.
We did that.
So,
That's the end of the resolutions. The next thing on the agenda is the proclamations. Recognizing May 6th through the 12th, 2022 as National Nurses Day and Week. Motion made by Biglio, seconded by Everett to approve. Any questions or discussion on it? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next thing, recognition of May 15th through the 21st, 2022 as National Police Week, and May 15th, 2022 as Peace Officer Memorial Day.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Waddle, seconded by King to approve. Is there any questions or discussion on it? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next thing, recognition of May 1st, May 1st to the 7th, 2022 as Correction Officers Week. Second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Got a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on it? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Designating May 2022 as Elderly America's Guns Month. Motion made by Everett,
Second.
seconded by Bob. To approve. Any question or discussion on that? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Right along, and what we need for Jarvis to do when he gets back.
You can buy lunch. You can buy lunch.
Appointments, we have Library Services Committee, Hannah Klusmeyer, Watoma, term April 20 through April 25.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by King, second by Wagle to approve. Any questions or discussion on that? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Board of Adjustments, Larry Tim, Pine River, second alternate, term April 2022 through April 2025. Motion made by Everett. Second by Figlio. Any questions or discussion on that? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now, Brandon, you're gonna have to wait. Yeah. Sarah, I'd like to know, are you gonna help Alan out on all this?
I didn't hear what you said.
Is that a requirement? I know where you stand, Alan. It's a good thing.
You're on your own, so it's.
I'm there. If anyone wants to take a break here for a minute, go ahead.
You ain't gonna make it by noon, Mark.
Close.
Unless he's real quick.
Close.
So he
So
chooses
Todd,
the appointments for the
Todd.
other committees?
Him and the administrator.
Okay.
That's why you had that list you handed in. Some are elected, some are appointments.
People are getting more and more hostile. Yeah, they are that. I don't know why. I said that I didn't mean to look over at you.
Yeah, thanks.
You had emailed saying that maybe you wouldn't have a meeting tomorrow.
No, there is none.
Yeah, and the reason for that is I was talking with Ruth and she said that, we used to have, all we have is like 2 land use extensions. And obviously if we don't have to have the meeting, we don't. And then I said that we can do the elections and everything at the next meeting. So
I just thought maybe that the new principal might.
and we're gonna, yeah, and I talked to Ruth about that and she thought that if that's all we have, I said, she would kind of prefer just to kind of give them a break, let them settle in.
I remember the first one we had.
The meeting.
I know. And overwhelmed. And it was that really long meeting.
Usually good.
Yeah.
John will be there and Holgram.
So when you're on a
Three out of
committee,
five.
where do you find the
Okay, that's
calendar
fine.
for
That's fine.
the meetings on there?
I'll be doing
Yeah.
that for P and Z and also BOA. They'll be set up, they'll be set up. So what I was thinking of actually doing is having a set up here.
Tuesday,
Is doing
whatever
training,
time.
just a P and Z training.
Every month.
UW extension puts it on
Go
and
to
just
the
kind of
first
talks
meeting,
about.
you'll get that on your
condition
campuses. I think the first.
Oh,
meeting
they'll
go to,
send it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's always just a good
First
kind of,
Good
thing
refresh.
yeah,
that
kind of a
will
good
happen is
resource.
choose up
Okay.
okay, we want to keep the
But,
meetings
yeah,
the same
I
day.
thought that
Is this
maybe we
working
can
out for
handle all
everybody?
that.
And
And
if
once
not,
again, just because
do
I
we
think
wanna
everyone's gonna be
change
so
them?
overwhelmed.
And
And
then
it's like if you throw
also
too much at them
that
with a
first
couple
meeting
more.
is outside.
Correct.
If it would have
You
been.
want to be elected as the chairman of the committee.
So, and once again, I don't know who
Like
all
that.
well,
Sure.
it's obviously with the appointee.
The way it usually works.
Know if,
And
you
not to
inhibit anybody that we usually work to
change so
been
that
on there
Who determines that?
longer usually gets affected.
right now.
Because they
And
know
with the
more
board
about
adjustments,
what's
yeah,
happening.
so because
Yeah,
Larry
makes
can
sense.
obviously be replaced and.
Okay,
so
now
we-
you're new.
There can appoint.
Next year you won't be.
A
No, but the
supervisor.
two,
Or
there was
next
only one
term.
county board.
Correct.
The
Correct.
rest were
Younger
citizens.
people on
Will
there.
they stay the same?
I'm hoping. I'm
Or
hoping they are,
sometimes
so.
even
we'll
ones
see.
that have been on there.
I didn't know.
Want to be.
Kevin put a request in for you for Board of Adjustments, so I don't know where that's going to stand, but. So we'll see. Yeah, so I don't know what happens, you know what I mean, in terms of the appointees that, you know, technically should wipe out the entire.
Like to go to
board
meetings.
and put in all the- I think that would be
Sudden
a service.
Well,
to the
yeah,
Board of
we
Adjustments.
should keep some of the old, I mean, I'm not saying the whole board, but half would be great. When I first got on, the new guys got thrown what was left over.
So.
Pretty much. You didn't get to pick and choose very much. It was, let them get their feet wet. Or on the following term,
Yeah.
then you could, you know,
I'm glad to see that, you know, the P and Z stayed intact, you know, and we stayed intact because. you know,
People
it's
don't seem to
important,
have
I think,
patience
that we maintain
You know, we're.
Maintain at least some
meetings and
continuity and.
we
that, so
discuss this
we'll
with
see.
them, talking about. the
But yeah,
public,
so
not-
Pat, I understood, and that was the first
I don't know
thing
if you're
one of the
finding
first things I had asked.
on
Because
board.
this was weird, you know, because
very
Larry
much so.
Tim didn't come to the meeting,
Much,
which, you
much
know, he
more
could have.
outspoken.
We had an onsite yesterday for Board of Adjustments. It would have been for naught, because if he would have come, you know, and made his comments, then they would all be basically moot.
So they just had that about their,
What's that?
Yeah, we have.
they have a hearing.
Yeah, we have
Thursday
a
night.
public hearing. We actually have two. You know, we have kind of
You can go down until.
one controversial
He's on
one.
the
Rusty.
town board of the town of,
Yeah, if you guys want to meet, up at.
Want to have a meeting, we could.
We can have that. meeting.
somebody
Nothing
wanted to
wrong
build
with that.
condos on.
You know, when I was on back in the nineties, first time, 14 years. Every meeting we go down to,
There
Tilly's,
just
the ones
isn't
that wanted to.
room.
So we probably
Again,
have a drink or two, go home.
homes
But
on
then when Norm got on, it kind of went downhill, and when Donna was on, it was pretty much non-existent
zoning
too.
gets, watching
Right
that.
after the meeting's over,
My twenties going down to
They have been renting
all
out
these old
homes,
guys in the county.
bedroom homes, and maybe 25
Yeah, all their drinking.
weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, we
boy.
gotta-
During the
gotta get on
week,
this
just
for-
get that rent money.
Yeah.
God, it's-
we stopped,
You
well,
have some property owners that are. on
both
the
of us working going on, so we all stopped there after town board meeting.
So like on the Airbnb and
Ryan
stuff
does
like
the
that.
Steve Owen.
It's getting
Short-term rentals.
controversial
So I had a conflict of interest, no, as long as you don't talk about town
You got all this
business. We get a lot of bitching going on at the tavern.
septic systems.
Can't come to the meeting.
Apartments getting
You're not,
involved
you're not
because,
supposed to have, you can have
if
a
they're gonna
quarter.
rent out a home,
It's like
they actually have to check with them. Home department has to make sure that.
rims,
It's up to.
Aaron's on city council. And I'm on city council. Mayor. Also,
Yeah, that's definitely a growing industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed to load
Couple
out.
months
Right.
that
Well,
Because you know,
stops
you know.
me from making a few bucks.
I wonder, could you guys like even load in your tablets? I mean, run the meeting kind of remotely from Grimm's?
Why,
You could.
You just gotta have one of those green backdrops behind you that makes it look like it's your office space, but it's actually.
Virtual.
Beds down in the
Virtual.
basement.
There was
I
one-
know
there
a
was
problem
one
that
I- one of
Airbnb
those,
runs
like,
into
TikTok things or whatever.
is they don't,
Guy was
they
actually
don't require
conducting
proof
his
of
office
ownership
business. And
to,
behind him,
to,
paint over
hosts that
whatever
are on
it
their
was. It
sites.
was like a backdrop of his
So,
office. And he's
in
at a
some,
baseball.
in some cases, the
Yeah.
property owner might be renting out to someone.
All right, okay.
Not intending it to be used by multiple renters. And the renter is actually renting it out without the property owner without their knowledge. And Airbnb doesn't do any checks and balances to make sure that that they're actually the owners. And that they're in court more for that than anything, I guess. Well, it gets settled out of court,
By
but
zoning who gets involved. Bobby's the tax man probably.
Try to be fair.
And he enjoys every bit of it, I think.
Well, we had the solar one, we stayed here till 11:30 that night.
On that solar thing.
Everybody got to talk. And our hands were tied. If it wouldn't have been, we put it, approved it with conditions, it went down to the planning or the public safety or whatever in Madison. And they would have rubber stamped it with no conditions. We put conditions on whether or not they're gonna abide by them or not. We'll have to wait and
Well,
see.
we had skin in the game, which is
And I
what you
don't know,
want. as a
have they
county.
even started out there on any of that? Did you know?
I don't believe so, but I know that they're really pushing to put it on the airport.
Okay.
So,
Well, they moved the hill, which was one of their big contentions. There was a hill where you could see 100 miles, not quite. They wanted that out, a lot of the people. We said, well, we'll work with them guys, and then now they're, I guess, actually working with the airport and gonna take some of the airport property and take that hill out of the solar farm.
so if we wouldn't have done that,
If you guys haven't got your
That
picture
would've
taken
happened.
with, by Jacob
I think that
yet,
was a
if you
good thing
wanna
to
run down
do.
and do that.
We
we're
did.
gonna-
I did.
where to go?
I'm out. You
guys get your picture taken?
Got it. We did on the tour.
I did.
You gotta go down there. Did you do that already?
Yeah. I had trouble with this thing, imagine that. I'm gonna make an ordinance or recommendation, we all take and smash these damn things and go back to where we were. You second it? No, mine, it says,
Talk to Barry. I'm on that phone with him all the time.
are ya?
Yeah.
I'm a frequent flyer in his office. There's something not working or I pressed the wrong buttons or something.
And I don't press the right ones. They said, you gotta sit there and play with it. I don't have time.
I do, and then it goes blue.
Yeah, yeah. And it tells me, it just, I won't work for you. You know what it says.
They said you gotta talk nice to it. I said, I got a 2-pound hammer. I'll start talking to it. But
We'll sit down with it and take a while, but she'll get it working. And I asked her, what did you do? Well,
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Push this and touch that.
And now it says, should turn it off because it's low on power. I got it plugged in or had it plugged in. It still didn't want to work. So I don't know what the hell's wrong. I got it plugged in now. And I don't think the green light is
So
on.
it's gotta
so I
be
don't know.
20 characters.
Should be a white light.
Can be anything
Where?
more.
Okay.
It's gotta be.
All right, yeah, because I'm locked.
Well, I got it plugged in. Plus I got it turned upside, is it upside down?
Shouldn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Should be a white light right here.
Okay. I'll come up with
Right
something.
in the,
Turn it
is there a
around.
white light
No,
on there?
no, turn it around. If that matters, I don't know if you can. No,
No.
You can have spaces too.
Oh, okay.
is it on now?
Basically like a sentence if you
Well,
had a
there's no light
sentence,
in
they
this.
like or something like that.
Well,
I
Barry,
think that's what Tanya has done.
it said charge, it needs charging. I got it plugged in and it's still not doing nothing. So I don't know if this is, it's wrong. This is wrong. We got it upside down, right side up. Nobody believes me, but it hates me. It hates me. It knows I do not like.
Try to plug.
Got it. It's not, it didn't connect right.
Oh, it didn't connect there. Okay. I don't think we'll need it anymore, but and I did have it charging all night.
Yeah.
Supposedly, but must not have worked because it said low on. Is there a light that comes on if it's charging
Yeah, there's a
properly?
lot there. Plus it'll pop up here.
Okay. So now it's charging?
No.
Huh.
Came on for a second. But it's,
Huh.
you hand me that one, I just want to test it.
Because it should have went longer than it did if maybe my plug at home wasn't working too. I don't know. Or maybe it's the. yeah,
That's the other way.
Okay, now it's on. Okay.
That's all it's supposed to be. Just
Okay.
plug it. Check your water column and make
See
sure
if the light is
comes
on. Okay. All
If
right.
not, we can replace it.
All right. If not, I know where you live,
Yeah, you do. No, you can try
at least
finding-
during the week.
Yeah. Okay. You want to do it now?
Sure.
All right, so I'll let you, is that, are you gonna do caps there too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think someone just waited for somebody to go first.
Got donuts and the stuff that's not good for you. Coffee or something in the crock pot.
Just do it all lowercase. Make it easier.
Yeah, I think if you pass those, you walk by, pick one. Awesome.
Perfect. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, thank you.
All that stuff, you only brought one little bitty donut hole or two.
Ooh, yeah.
You're gonna have to stop at McDonald's or Culver's on your way back to work. Or sneak into the deli.
Like it.
Well, took a nap.
I woke up at 1 o'clock this morning.
Oh.
I couldn't fall asleep.
So,
Laid there and got up at 4:30 and took my dog out,
no,
or 4. And I said, I gotta get some sleep. I
what
had
time
to
you
get up
gotta
at
work,
4:30.
6?
I had to get up at 4:30, so. I lay down, finally fell asleep for 10 minutes. Got up. I'm just exhausted right now. I get up and now city council has a reorganization meeting at 6.
Ours, town board is at 6, annual meeting.
I guess it's state statute that all has to be done today.
What's that?
It's state statute.
Oh, you have to
Towns and
meet
cities.
either on this night or predetermine the annual meeting for next year's day. It can be before. I don't think it could be after. It could have been like Monday night, Saturday night, Friday night, Friday.
I think like this is, has to be held on Tuesday
Okay, yeah, there is something about
after the
third.
election.
I'm talking annual meeting. Do you have an annual city meeting or
No, we
where
have,
people can come and complain? Well, that's what ours is. They can come anytime, but tonight it's their meeting.
oh,
They
really?
can make suggestions. We don't have to necessarily do them or follow through on them. But they could say, well, I want such and such a road blacked out.
Oh,
Well, that's great, but we only got so many $1,000 budget for that, and yours ain't on our list. I mean,
but as far as open meetings, they're not, they maybe on the agenda to speak. Unless you're specifically on the agenda to speak about something, you're not supposed to even respond to it. You're supposed to
well, we've got it
make
on
you-
our agenda every month. public comments.
Yeah, we do too,
But you got a limit and they can't go on for a half hour otherwise.
the problem you get into is people start asking you questions, and technically you're not supposed to answer those questions because it's not fair to other people that didn't come to the meeting. Well, for example, if they're gonna talk about closing a bar downtown, so. And they bring it up and then they talk about it. They're here and other bar owners or whatever didn't want to work on it. Or the guy whose bar is being closed was nowhere. So I mean, it has to be agenda, put on the agenda so
Right.
people have a opportunity to come and see it. Or talk about it if they choose to.
For you to vote on.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can talk about it, but you can say we aren't gonna do anything because it wasn't on the agenda.
I don't even think you should talk about it.
Well, probably
The
not.
most you should say is thank you for considering.
Yeah.
Shouldn't really engage with them because it's not fair. Again, to the people that weren't aware that they were going to talk about that specific issue. So there's a lot of committees that I'm on. I really enjoy these, and I hope I don't make it
On here or on city?
on both. In the city, we have the mayor, but I'm the council president. I have been over elected because nobody else wants it, I think. But all I do is if the mayor is sick or whatever, I'll run the meeting.
Oh, you're the vice mayor?
No, it's called council president.
Oh, council, okay.
So if he would resign, die, then
You step up
you
till
use
another election.
until,
Okay.
or if he's sick. She said he had COVID twice this year, so.
Better do.
So I've had to run the meeting twice. But he got really sick, so I don't understand. And he doesn't understand because he's been vaccinated, I think, the whole thing, and he's he never wore the mask at all, ever. But I think he has, like a lot of people, they have a lot of health, especially lungs.
Yeah.
That could be pretty nasty if you got it. I've been very lucky. I mean, I work in the public. I don't wear a mask. I don't do that as far as I know. And I've had colds and sniffles all the time. So I've been lucky, but some people, I think that's what's so funny is like, you'll see people driving down
With mask.
husband and wife,
One
live
does-
together, and they
one
both
does-
have masks on.
Or either that or one doesn't, one don't.
It's not gonna be good, I'm sorry.
They're back. This could be good or not. Barry?
I called him. Oh.
Get a circle. So I think you're right.
I have a yellow book.
Yes.
Here, I got.
We'll wait for
Other one
Megan.
goes? I got one.
The new people are
I
buying
did.
it.
Just so I know what's-
They look too good. Stop by the office when we're done. Great, thank you.
Yep. So John, I'm not gonna do an open meetings presentation.
Okay.
I'm just
I
gonna
can take
help
Donna.
them along
Figure out
with
she's
like
out.
how they get the order,
It was
meetings
2008.
and whatnot,
I
and
know,
then we'll go
ready.
more in depth next time.
Administrator.
Since
review,
it's 2020. Follow it.
Board of
What did you all do?
Adjustments.
Did you
really do it?
Rogers, no.
Good.
You did
I'll
what?
accept these three.
That's okay, yeah.
Did everyone?
Yeah.
Did the rest of them did?
Yeah.
They
You did
but
everything
you
down
said
through,
everything down here.
everything,
Sweet, did you get my report?
everything but these three we didn't do.
But all these are done.
You're kidding, right?
Fantastic.
Otherwise, we made a motion while you were gone. If you don't get done by lunch, you're buying lunch. So speed it up, John.
We're just waiting for Megan.
All right, give me 1 second.
You all got the tour of everything and now.
Oh, there she is already.
Mark already told you.
Yep. Sounds good. Great.
We're gonna start back at the top.
Why not?
Do this out. We're gonna do that last vote one more time. Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Results there.
Oh.
There you go. Thank you.
Get the red button.
So good. Thank you.
Did the all get their photos taken?
I didn't want to be.
What you're getting now is your committee assignments, so go ahead and look those over. And Melissa will talk to you, but just be aware that some meetings are coming up. And so make sure you find out when they are, and they'll be sending agendas to you.
All right.
Well, should we have this one to, under new business, we have to still do the motion to approve the chair and administrators appointments to the county board standing committees. Is there a motion? Mr. Eckstein, the second? What's that? If you want?
He wants to see if he agrees.
Yeah.
You want to take a
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Nice to take a look.
Oh, okay.
You can take your time, Bob. Lunch is right up here. Yeah, there's snacks up here for you.
Those are just appetizers.
There's still a lot left.
They already told me if I didn't get this done, I'm buying, so we're going to be adjourning.
That's why
real
we're
quickly.
stalling.
Yeah, we're not stalling. I think they're going to be starting more of those up. Yep, but we talked about that as well, Brandon. And then it kind of fit with that loan committee thing too. That doesn't meet that often, and it's not that bad, but it's one we want somebody on there who is a business mind, so.
I thought the committees were the chair.
Yeah.
They do.
Why did he write them in? Why do you write them in?
Okay, we do have a motion on the floor. When you're done, I would, okay, Brandon, seconds. Is there any discussion on any of these?
I have a question.
Question, okay, Pat?
I thought maybe you're just doing it to fill the names, but as far as the committee chair, that's chosen by the committee, the way I understand it, not by.
That is correct.
So,
In some cases, yeah.
yeah, so that doesn't, the chair written there doesn't mean that that person is the chair of the committee. It means that the chair of the board automatically serves on that particular committee.
Except public safety. By statute, they're required to be the chair of the committee.
Okay.
But that's good observation there, Pat. Any other discussion? Everybody okay? Okay, all in favor then signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, passes. All right, now we'll go into the county administrator's monthly report.
All right, I'm going to save the big report for our May meeting because this meeting has gotten a little lengthy on us. However, I will be sending all of you my email, my phone number, my office number. I think you got the tour, and I hope you all got your photo taken. But next meeting, I do want to share, we will be talking about reclassifications of positions. And we need to do that in order to get our budget worksheets settled for, they have to be done in May. So will we be asking for the COLA in May too then? So we will be asking for the cost of living increase for the 2024 budget because we're already starting that process. So we'll probably get information from me before the meeting. I'll try to give you like a week before the next county board meeting with the information that I'm going to provide you because it does take some time to digest. And then if you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email or you can call my cell. That's probably the easiest way to get me. And again, I'll send that to you on your tablets that you're all perfectly trained on, right, Barry?
Yes.
So in your packet of things, in that white packet of that Megan gave you today, right? You gave them that today?
Mm-hmm.
The
From the
packet, the
counties.
big white packet. There's a brochure in there and it's county workshop. And I would encourage all of you to try to attend one of those workshops because it does talk about, we were going to do open meetings. We were going to go through this and actually we're not going to, Megan. But the workshop, it goes through all the kind of like 101 things you want to know about county board. And even if you've been to one of these, it's always good to go back and get refreshed on the rules and, you know, parliamentary procedure. And with a new chair, we'll work on the rules together. We'll always do something wrong, but that's okay. We just work through the motions and how that all works. But we can really gain a lot of knowledge from that. And I think it's like $75 to attend that. And does that come through your office? And I'm pretty sure there is an all online option for it. Just look at that brochure, but if my memory serves me, there is an online option.
Isn't that the same with the county convention too? County's convention isn't the first year paid by the state?
Yeah, so he's referencing the fall conference for the WCA that they put on in September. And so for all first year supervisors, if this is your first term serving, they waive the registration for that. So.
But that's something we have to register for.
Yep, you just need to register that. So again, if you're interested.
And it is fairly extensive conference. So if you can go your first year, it's a big benefit. And then you get to meet other county board supervisors in similar situated areas and for friendships and networks when you want to reach out and say, hey, my county administrator is doing this. What do you think? Because I know that we all do that. So like I said, the last or the next meeting, I'll go more in depth with some of the where we are with things. But the next meeting, we'll be talking about money. So we'll be talking about reclasses, probably ARPA funding, budgeting, and then the budget process, how that works through the rest of the year since we already start our budget for next year now. And then Mr. Urban and Mr. Bosshard, I would like to set up a meeting with the two of you. I've already scheduled one with you. I did meet with the rest of the folks just to have a one-on-one. So I'll reach out. Is email okay to reach out, schedule something?
Yep.
Awesome. And that's all I have right now. Do you guys have any questions about that part? About just the monthly reporting? So then on the next item, may I go to that?
Mm-hmm.
So with the open meetings presentation, we're not going to do a big presentation. What we do need you to know for your first committee meeting. So once you get home, you digest which committees that you're all assigned to. Barry, I'm sure showed you where the county on the county website where you can see calendar events. Did you go through that part? So, but for your first meeting, you should get an email from the person responsible for the minutes and setting up the agenda. A lot of them come from the county clerk's office, but some of them don't, like public safety that comes from the sheriff's office and public works. Does that come? That comes from Kathy, from the highway department. So just if you don't notice that you get an email, you can send an email either to myself or Megan and we'll get you the information. And then do they have the green books of when the regular committees are?
Yep, everybody should have it.
And then we'll eventually end up getting that redone. And there is a possibility we're able to sign you up on the website so that when you get notifications, say you're on Public Works, you want notifications about that particular committee, you can check certain boxes to get those minutes and those notices emailed to you directly as they're coming out. We're testing that right now on the website, but hopefully by May we'll have that worked out so that as soon as the meeting minutes are done, they're in your inbox. Mr. Piaski actually is the first one that brought it up to me, and I thought that would be a nice option. And so Barry and I are testing that. So, but that first meeting you have to meet and then elect a chair and then let Megan's office know, right, Megan, that who the chair is. Okay, and then that will get posted on the website. The website hasn't been updated for a little bit on committees. There has been some changes. So as soon as that one's done, then your name will be on there. And then hopefully we'll be able to get a page with your pictures. It's a nice option. And actually, Mary from the Argus brought it up that it's nice to see who the county board supervisors are when community members go and look at the website. But that is all that I have.
You also need to set a day and time.
Oh.
So just because your first meeting is already set, you should meet the first time. You confirm whether that's when you want to continue to meet or if you are changing. And so let us know so we can.
On the committees, yeah.
What Ruth said.
Okay.
Anything
Okay.
else?
Nope. Is that, anybody have any questions for Melissa? Okay, I guess you all. Oh, go ahead.
I do have a fact sheet that was put out by the local government center that's part of the city that talks about open meetings. So if anybody has any interest or would like information about it, it talks about the different laws. It gives a little bit of information about closed session and stuff. So if you want to take this with you, I do have copies enough for everybody. If you
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, Melissa, I guess we'll move ahead then. If all our other business is done, to 17, board suggestions for future agenda items. Melissa brought a few up that are going to be there, but does anybody have anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, so in the past, in the summertime, starting in May, we've gone around.
I was thinking, yeah.
So I don't know if that's something you set up. I don't know who set it up.
I'm sorry, say again.
We go to different town halls and do meetings like May, September, or whatever it was in the past.
Visiting different
Instead of-
townships.
instead of Meeting here.
Yeah, you weren't part of that, but yeah, we've gone to Saxville and we went to actually the new Fox Valley thing once and things like that. So just in the summertime.
Do you want to put that on for the next meeting to discuss options or do you want?
Yeah, yeah.
Next meeting is Saturday, the 21st. Town of Aurora is fine, right? Like, that's great.
We've been there.
Do we have the technology? We do not have technology when we go outside. So that's the only. We've done it offsite, but then we're not recording live stream. So that's just.
Yeah, we just can't do the live. We can do the roll call portion, but we just can't do the live stream.
Might I suggest we do it after the May meeting so we can get all the board members on the tablets where there's power, make sure our systems work and everyone knows what they're doing. Would that be?
Typically, we just do like one or two, so it wouldn't be, I mean, even into September, sometime would be fine. Yeah, okay.
I'm
Anyway,
not the technology person. I don't have to deal with it, but
we'll put that on. Is there any others? All right, with that, then I entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Eckstein, second. Mr. Wadle, we're adjourned. Thank you, guys. Do that. Never did that. What's that?
Yeah. Let me ask it.
I left you my business card too.
Okay, it was down there and I.
Yeah, I
left
put it back up there.
Thank you very much.
Maybe.
Typically, the last Tuesday of the month, in the morning, 9 o'clock.
I don't have that anymore. If you need anything, just let
Calendar
me
with
know.
me, but
Okay. I would do that. Yeah, I think.
I was gonna tell you too, I'm assuming you're still gonna go, you're still
Yeah,
gonna
I
get my
think
and stuff.
I think
So I like being a part of that. If you're
Okay.
cool with me still being in on that,
I would,
we can carpool.
yeah, yeah, I think that's great, because then you're getting the first.
night
view
too
of
long
whatever's
for you.
doing.
Yeah, I think it's beneficial. The one that-
And when's the next
Salt and then
cab
over here.
services? That's usually at night, right?
It's
Up in
Wednesday.
Point.
Actually, they haven't.
Very good. Yep. Very good. Thanks a lot. Yep.
So
You bet.
all I do is I call.
My phone's been, my wife sent out to my kids. My phone's been blowing up.
Oh, then you can take a nap. Well,
I call them and I listen, you know, and
Did get a picture? Oh, I didn't know that was on, I guess. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yep.
Don't get hurt, John.
I can sneeze or eat or.
Sure, you were celebrating before. You thought you were doing all these. You were probably down to the tavern.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's, I
You
think
can let me know when that is or what I gotta do.
it's usually, it's Wednesday. The last Wednesday of the month. Committee meetings are usually around 5. And then
Not good.
the board meeting is,
That's all on telephone. Committee meetings and everything.
yep. Well, hopefully, then I think, seems
When are they
like,
going back to real, aren't they?
well, so far, I think May, we're actually gonna be meeting at that one bar in Waushara, the meetings. So, I'll be hopefully I can ride me that. Last time I went to a meeting in Waushara, yeah, I smashed my car and hit a deer.
So I can drive.
So, but, so I think May is like that.
That would, or the one gonna be this May,
I think it's coming May.
so it'd be what, May? It's still April. I think,
Yeah, yeah, right.
Is there one in April, the end of the month?
Yeah, yeah, last
So-
Wednesday.
They probably, maybe they'll get my information, maybe not yet. They call me or email me or.
They should.
We're supposed to be on this damn thing, huh?
Probably.
That's, I'm gonna tell them, put it on my personal one, that when I look at this damn thing, I
I
don't.
don't know. Yeah,
Or if they can reappoint somebody if
they'll have to put you
it don't work
on
out.
a committee, one of the committees.
I thought John would stay on that because he
No,
was
no.
on it. He took my spot from 2 years ago, and then Donna asked me if she minded if he did it. I said, no.
We're having a
No.
discussion and
The-
last person that talked just come off, I think.
Was John?
God, he realized it too. Yeah, the more I think that's what happened. I think it's like.
Pat, for buildings and grounds.
Voted on him. I couldn't hear if you got on him.
I didn't get on the voted on one.
Thursday at 12:30.
Oh, you're not? I thought you did.
What day
No, it
was
was between Peterson and I.
Wednesday.
That's,
I
you
bowed
bowed
out.
out, that's right. Then you got, but you're on here, land, water, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Board of Adjustment. It's like zoning board of adjustment, no, yeah. The Board of Health. Board of Adjustment, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And land use.
So, yeah, we had,
More reading to do.
I will tell
we had
you,
a,
first,
I can't see it because I don't.
1 year
I'm not pointing on the phone.
then I got reelected.
First 3 years. And they're giving it.
Well, good job, Megan.
I'm not a bullshit.
And they're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
and, you know, I know what they're saying because I watched the program on.
The director we had back then was Lucy
Those
Rose.
programs that document.
Doesn't come out, very nice person.
But areas.
Her and Bill
That's one of the
Bellamy.
reasons why a lot of black people are.
Oh.